What do you think, we're in a horror movie?
Yeah, you guys are right. I mean, if we were, they'd probably cast some dingbat like Jennifer Love Huge Tits to play me.
Yeah, they cast people in the late 20s, early 30s to play us.
Welcome back, fans, stalkers, and strangers, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. Today, we are finally reviewing your most requested episode. We've seen all your comments on our TikTok, our Instagram, yes, even Facebook, even though Facebook is a bit of a dead page for us. We're going to be talking Scary Movie. The 2000 horror comedy parody movie starring Anna Faris, Regina Hall, John Abrahams, Sherry O'Terry, and plenty more people, including Shannon Elizabeth, who we also know is from 13 Ghosts and American Pie.
Unbelievable!
Scary Movie follows a group of teenagers as they try to figure out who is killing them one by one. This, to me, is just such a fantastic movie, so I can't wait to get into it.
Aw, shut when you think about it.
Now, this is a movie that I absolutely stand. It is so fantastic. It is such a great parody. And there's so many movies and parodies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, 70s movies, 80s movies, and also pop culture references. Like, we have everyone from Carmen Electra to specific TV commercials, The Matrix. And I guess for me, overall, this is the king of horror parody movies. It's also the king of comedy parodies. Two of the 6 writers from this movie went on to do Date Movie, Disaster Movie, Meet the Spartans, and they were just all absolutely shit.
Shit happens.
I will defend Vampires Suck, though. That's probably the only funny-ish thing they've done.
Do I smell?
Yeah, like tuna.
Lunch.
Absolutely love this movie. Saw it for the first time at your place. Very fond memories. I don't feel like they've ever topped it from here. Other movies in the franchise are good, but this is just the absolute peak of sort of what they did. So, yeah, love this movie, and it was a joy to revisit.
Hey, would you settle for PG-13?
What's that? Oh, gee!
Night, Bobby.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer watching this, late in primary school, people would talk about it, but I didn't know what it was about. So I don't know, it must have been year 7 or 8 when I watched it. But yeah, I still think this is like top tier parody movie. Nothing will top this. The future sequels do a good job in some, but not all areas of the film, which is what this does a really good job at. And you can clearly tell when, the Wayans brothers, as they remove themselves from the series later, in 3, 4, 5, you can definitely tell like the quality is definitely dropped, which is quite a shame.
I'm on TV. Oh shit! First cops, now this. Oh man, I'm be a star, son.
But no, this movie does everything really well. I still think there's some scenes in this that are as good, if not better, than the parody movies that they're making fun of. Blair Witch is one of them.
I'm so scared right now. I just want to say to the family of my cameraman, Kenny, I am so sorry. This was my interview, my story. It's all my fault.
I find if I try to rewatch like the original Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer, which, by the way, is getting a requel sometime later this year or next year with Jennifer Love Huge Tits and Freddie Prinze Jr. or whatever. But, I can't watch those movies without thinking of Scary Movie. So that's how you know this movie has done it well.
Oh my God, we hit a boat. Where's the foot?
absolutely love Brenda when she's at the movies and she's screaming. That whole thing's a parody on Jada Pinkett Smith in Scream 2, and it's a parody of a parody, so better on better on better. It's like an Inception, a KFC within a Taco Bell, all that jazz. But then I just really love Anna Faris and Regina Hall. I feel like those two characters work so well together because, yes, they are parodies of Jennifer Love Hewitt and Brandy in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Fun fact, so Brenda was actually originally called Brandy in Scary Movie, but then they changed it, I think, for legal purposes. And like, just such a great dynamic. Even that one scene where Brenda's like, ugh, I don't know why you hang out with her. She is such a hoe. And then Buffy comes up. She's like, what is up, my sister?
Yeah. It's like, mwah, mwah.
Yeah, that's like, it gets referenced all the time, but it's like every time I see that dynamic, I'm like, oh, I know so many people like that, even now in my 30s, that I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a Brenda. She's a Buffy.
Yeah.
I'd much rather help my fellow man than some
Better
animal.
$1?
Oh, get away from me, you bum!
Buffy, can't you see he's just hungry? Here you go, sir. A nice sandwich for you. See?
I said $1, bitch.
Ow!
The scene where Buffy gets killed is amazing. And just they're just making fun of it the entire time. The fact that even when you cut her head off, she's still talking. It's brilliant.
Oh, now what? Oh, I guess this is the big climax. Hope you don't mind if I fake it. Oh, look at me. I'm all dead. I'm a gross, scary, severed head. Come on, please. Do you know who I am? I'm Miss Teen. You're really giving me a headache.
The cop is also another good character. The with the pictures and fucking hell. yeah. That. Are you sure about that? Yeah. just make sure. Yeah. Rough. Yeah, it doesn't fail that pit in particular doesn't fail to make me uncomfortable every single time. I'm like, oh god, fucking hell. Yeah, all of the characters are good. Yeah, but as you said, Justin, Brenda and Cindy are amazing. Everything that Ray says is amazing.
Will this shirt make me look gay?
Nah, man.
What about now?
Nah.
Cool?
Yeah.
I live for the scenes with Gail. I just think they're hilarious. Even like the opening where it's like one student dead and she's like, that's it. And then like just shoots on the screen, like 2 dead. And then when she's like at the car, interviewing the girl, it's like, where's your boyfriend? And then, she's like, oh, he heard a noise. And she's like, do you think maybe he's been killed? And she's like, no way. And then she's trying to like interview the killer. And he's like, I got a job to do. Da-da-da-da.
Oh my god, Kenny! Kenny, move your fat ass! Kenny! Oh god, he's right behind
This man is chasing me again!
The scene with Miss Nan, I think it is. Is that what it is? Miss Nan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's sniffing like the underwear when she walks in. Yeah.
You can take your bra off.
Yeah. And then with the ball sack, and she's like, oh, ball, oh. Yeah, nah. And even it's like, hey, Cindy, your ass looks fat. And then it's like, who got to feel? And then Kenny's like, it was so juicy and tender. Yeah, there's so many scenes in this movie that are funny, but I just think Gail does such a good job with it. But yeah, it's like my top ones at the moment.
This little piggy went to the market, all right? This little piggy stayed home. Now, this little piggy doesn't roll the goddamn camera. I'm gonna put my foot up his fucking
Well, I
ass.
get
Gail Hailstorm standing out front of the police station where I'm going to try and get a glimpse of Cindy Campbell, the young girl who was attacked earlier this evening. You're on my foot, fat shit!
It's also like the little things that she does in this movie, like when the police are having the conference and she's like, sheriff, and she picks up the other journalist's pen and throws it. Like, she's just such a great character actress.
Hey, Gail. Gail swallows.
Kenny, get the camera ready. Here, hold my gum. She just spits it out. kind of wish they played more on the Blair Witch parody, because it's just that one shot, which, you know, is prominent in the Blair Witch movie, but I'm trying to think of like how they would have weaved it in. Coop, do you have any least favorite parts?
No.
Easy.
Moving on.
Yeah.
And BP?
Can't really think of anything. I think they did a good enough job with the time given, and I think it's a good amount of parody films that they did. They didn't overkill it either. So, yeah, this is, as I said, top tier parody film. Nothing has and will top it. Mark my words.
This is about the time I puked green slime and masturbated with a crucifix. It was my first keg party, Bobby.
There's some really interesting trivia for Scary Movie. So the original script featured a cameo role for Jamie Lee Curtis, as Cindy would discover her hiding in a closet in her house while the killer was chasing her up the stairs.
Grandma! Baby!
At around 42 minutes into the movie, the lunchroom menu at the high school reads "same old shit." I didn't notice that. One of the first scenes in Cindy's bedroom, she says, "Would you like to have a little bump bump?" This line was originally written for Scream, but it was later changed to, "Would you like to have a little raw footage?"
Jennifer Coolidge was offered the role of Miss Man, but turned it down.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
She'd be like, hi.
Actually, speaking of Miss Man, so she was also in the music video for Telephone by Lady Gaga. She plays one of the cross-dresser security guards.
Is she the one that says, like, I thought she had a dick or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Always play front to back.
The most obvious trivia point, which we haven't spoken about, was that Scary Movie was the working title of Scream. So the main movie that it parodies. But then, as we know, Harvey Weinstein wanted to change the title, and there was this whole furor about why would we change it from Scary Movie to Scream? But then, obviously, it worked. So
Everywhere I go, I see the same house.
of course, at the start of this movie, James Van Der Beek, aka Dawson from Dawson's Creek, comes in through the window and is like, "Oh, wrong set."
Yeah.
I've had to explain that cameo so many times to people who aren't aware of what Dawson's Creek was. And I'm just like, weren't you alive at the same time I
we
was?
old?
Like,
I think we are.
we are. We're like, we may as well just like become fossils at this point.
I mean, I know they were probably about our age now when they were playing teenagers.
Yeah. I did personally watch it. I know of it, but it wasn't my... Yeah. What I watched. I think it was like 5 or 6 years older at that point.
No, Bobby, don't.
See, yeah.
Dawson's Creek have this anthology episode where it's all scary horror stories. And I rewatched it the other day. It still mostly holds up, but my God, did it scare me when I was a kid. I was just like, I can't sleep now. Great. The director, Keaton Ivory Wayans, he makes a cameo. He plays the slave in the Armor Star 2 trailer.
I'm the king of the world!
I'm a star too. Back down there, boy!
The tagline for the movie's poster was "No shame, no mercy, no sequel." When Scary Movie 2 was released a year later, the tagline for the sequel was "We lied."
Sounds like something like a Saw movie would have said.
Yeah, fully.
Or like Halloween kills and ends or something.
Halloween kills more. No.
Oh, it's like Halloween
times
ends.
infinity.
Halloween ends, or does it?
Hey, Cindy, that was an accident.
Was it, Greg?
released the same year was another horror movie parody called Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th. I've seen it. It's not really that funny. I think it's got like 2 or 3 funny sequences in the whole thing, but it's almost word for word the exact same parody, except they also parody like Never Been Kissed. They parody a lot of other comedy movies, but it's just kind of shit. Like, I mean, when your main star is, what's her name again? Tiffany Amber Thiessen, who was in like Saved by the Bell. I mean, come on.
We'll just pretend it never happened. You know, like the time we got drunk and we went down on each other.
I am a little conflicted what to score this movie because actually, no, fuck it. This is our podcast. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 because it's not trying to be a cinematic drama, historical masterpiece. It's supposed to be a fun movie you watch with friends and you laugh your ass off. And it succeeds. So 10 out of 10 for me.
True.
I'm going to give it 69 dicks through the head out of 10.
Go ahead, do it again.
We'll give it 10 gale hailstorms out of 10. Or actually, no, 10 gale swallows out of 10. There you go.
Gale swallows.
Don't worry, because I never forget. Would you remind me not to do that again?
I think the average is, let's just say 69 out of 10. That's just easier to go with, which is our highest rating ever.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, as I said before, this is the king of horror parodies. I don't think it's ever been like outmatched. It's never had a sequel that's like gone above and beyond what this one has done. It is just brimming with original talent, and so I absolutely love this movie. But also shout out to Gail Hailstorm. I think she's probably my favorite character in this movie now that we've spoken about it. Coop, do you have any final thoughts?
If you haven't seen it, change that immediately. Even if you're not into horror movies, it's I mean, surely anybody could find a way to enjoy this movie, but then again, people are walking out of it in the cinema. So like, I don't know, get a grip, watch it, enjoy it, or don't.
Yeah, that's fair. BP, what about yourself? Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, this is a textbook example on how to do a parody film correctly and well, and also well executed as well. I said well a lot. And it also shows the star power of obviously the main actors and the Wayans brothers doing a really good job at this. And as we'll discuss in future ones, the absence of them really affects the quality of the films as they go on. But yeah, it's a good time. It still holds up, 23 years later. Top tier. Nothing, I don't think, will ever top this one. I think they've sort of certified this as a really good parody movie and doesn't take itself too seriously. And it's just a good time. And people, that don't find the humor funny, it doesn't mean the movie's bad. It just, I don't know, it's just personal opinion, but it does a really good job. Yeah.
I know you better get out of my face! Out of my face! Out of my face! This is all me up in here. You handle that!
This isn't easy for me. I know we've been together a long time, but I found somebody else, okay? I'm in love. Don't look at me like that. We could still be friends. You can come into my room whenever you want. We just can't. No. No! Okay, just one time. Yeah, that's it.
Woo! Ray, what are you doing here?
It's the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, Cindy, about all that stuff that happened back in the day, let's just forget about it and try and move on, huh?
I am. So just do me a favor and stay away from me.
Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Ray.
You stay away from me too!
Crazy bitch, I don't know you.
Welcome back, fans and friends, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. We are right in the middle of our Scary Movie block.
Fuck this.
And today we're discussing Scary Movie 2. Of course, the sequel to Scary Movie, released in 2000. This one was a very rushed production.
Yummy!
It had 9 months to have a script, be filmed, be edited, have all the marketing ready, which is about, say, half compared to what a standard film released during 2001 would take. So it's usually about 18 months to 2 years. And this resulted in the film grossing only $141 million from a $45 million budget, which is almost half of what the original Scary Movie made just 1 year prior.
Fuckheads would be ready if you weren't partying all night.
Scary Movie 2, I laughed out loud so many times watching this as a kid. Still laugh when I rewatch it every 5 or 6 years now, but I definitely see some of the rush nature of this movie, and also there's a lot of deleted scenes with Scary Movie 2.
Okay, well, why don't you just take my car?
There's been a major recall on all Japanese-made cars. Automakers warn when exposed to rain, the cars explode.
Oh, my car.
I got it, son. We'll build us a plane and we'll just fly out of here.
Now that's just fucking stupid.
I can see why they were deleted. Some of them just aren't funny. It just drags on and on. There's a whole 10-minute parody of What Lies Beneath with Cindy, and none of it's funny. So, yeah, it is what it is.
It definitely is a drop-off from number one, and I just had a quick look to see if there was any differences with the crew side of it. And apart from one producer, it's the same director, and the Wayne brothers is still on. To be honest, I never really watched number 2 a lot. I tend to watch sort of 1, 3, 4, and once for 5. But 2 was always the one that I kind of always skipped.
Some people, it's so ghetto.
It has some good bits in it. It definitely is a drop off from what number 1 was. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's really that good either, but it still has a couple good scenes in it that kind of tie in with the original, and they do a good job of it. But I find it's more Anna Faris, her scenes that are the memorable ones that I like.
Who is it? Who are you? Help me how? Who's in danger? Where are you?
Check the fucking music room.
And I think I just kind of had some issues with maybe the plot and it being stuck in a haunted house. Yeah, it sounds good in theory, but I just don't think it translated to an appealing movie. And now that you say it's been rushed, I can this is where I think everything's sort of fallen.
It's some real evil shit going on in this house, and I can feel it. It's in this. It's in these statues. I can see it. It's in this clock. It's in the mirror. It's in the guns.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that it's rushed either. I mean, I kind of always felt that it was anyway. Pacing's kind of all over the place. Acting's kind of a bit weird as well.
Watch my Fanny's coming through. Watch it. Make room for Fanny.
I quite like the opening scene. I feel like it just feels so separate from the rest of the movie.
Shake your ass. Watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. Attention, all young players and pimps. Right now is the place to be.
As silly as it was, I thought it was a strong opening, but then the rest of the movie is kind of a bit weird.
You suck.
The use of Tim Curry was a bit weird too in this movie, I thought. It just is nowhere near as good. There is a lot of bits that are still pretty funny. Regina Hall and Anna Faris are still amazing. They always are.
Well, maybe she won't see me.
Somebody help me! Brenda!
Oh, shit! She stole me!
The references aren't as good. There seems to be probably more references to commercials than anything else.
Lockdown Records presents a hip-hop Christmas. You'll get such classics as Santa Claus is Coming on Moms, Jingle Balls, I'm Dreaming of a White Woman, and who could forget Frosty the Dope Man? And how about All I Want for Christmas is the Charges Dropped, These Nuts Roasted on an Open Fire, A Sleigh Ride in My 64, Annie Up Bitch, It's Christmas, and many
Y'all
more.
gonna buy that
Get
shit,
this
son.
2-CD set in
I would say it's probably the second worst. So,
Yeah.
I can't necessarily think of favorite sequences apart from when Cindy is sitting in the car and that Vitamin C song comes on the radio, and then Vitamin
that's so
C,
good.
which, you know, for reference, Vitamin C is this long forgotten one-hit wonder pop star from late 90s, early 2000s.
We will still be friends forever.
Hey! Will you shut the fuck up and let me sing?
Cindy and Brenda are still the main stars as always. I also felt that Ray and Shorty had more of an impact in this movie compared to the first one, where they were more side characters, but Ray's just so much funny in this movie. Shorty is hilarious. I mean, that scene where he gets rolled up into the blunt is just, what the fuck? How do you write something like that? But it was so funny.
Oh shit! I smell something burning! Oh snap! It's me!
Shout out to Natasha Leon, who is in BP's Zoom background. I did not know that was her until 2 years ago.
Shut up your ass, you worthless piece of shit! Ah!
Silent! Holy Lord.
Your mother's in here with us, Harris. Would you like to leave a message? I'll be sure that she gets it.
Yes, Mom, will you get out of there, please? You're no fun. I'm working.
See you later, Mrs. Harris.
Even though she might sound like this these days, but I didn't realize that it was her. I'm gonna cut that fucking attempt at an imitation.
You sound like fun with Dick and Jay, it's like, I'm lactose intolerant when he gets the cigarettes.
Oh, like that video of Miley Cyrus, and she's like, it's a journey anyways, and then it's the dog.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is that Lavender from Matilda? BP, do you have any favorite parts of Scary Movie 2?
Yeah, obviously, strong hand, that whole sort of thing is just revolting and disgusting.
I forgot about Harrison.
Here. Oh, take my hand. Ah, come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me.
Take it. Take my hand.
I always kind of heard about that reference, and they take my strong hand, but not really realizing what film or where it was from. And yeah, it's just so funny. And I love it. It's like the best scene is when they're all obviously hungry and they're sitting at the dining table. And then I think they realize that, they're like, what haven't you touched here? And it's like, oh, the pie. And then it's just like handing out the pie. And then, and even with the potato, the mashed potato, whatever it is. And he's just, it's disgusting.
My germ hand.
Brenda kind of low-key hates Cindy, and so when that skeleton thing's chasing her, she's like, please Jesus God, like, get her. And then like Cindy trips over and she's like, God damn it,
Please die! Oh my God, Rhonda! We're gonna die! It would have just been you if you would have just shut the fuck up!
even like the Charlie's Angel thing just for a second when they all rocked up in there and then they were all wearing like bras and then like, oh what? And then come back in and wearing like all black leather.
really like the rivalry between Dwight and Hanson.
What those cool new skates? Now you be careful with those. You don't want to fall and break something.
Oh, that's funny. That's real funny. Let me give you a hand.
Well, that's awful kind of you. How about you give me a standing ovation?
Why don't you lift me up?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this one. You look familiar to me. Were you in Stomp?
Hey, you can kiss my grits.
I think I'll be the bigger man now and walk away. Walk away.
Other than that, it's not really heaps to love about it. I mean, I guess that Shorty being turned into a blunt. I mean, the best thing about that is, as you've already mentioned, Justin, that fake commercial is really funny. That's so good. But there's just a lot of missed opportunities in this, and there's sort of really only a couple of scenes that are really that funny or well executed. So yeah, not a lot of favorite parts.
I feel like Tori Spelling was just kind of, she felt a bit like, sometimes when someone features a vocalist in a song and they're literally in there for 10 seconds.
Yes.
But they're kind of heavily advertised as being in the song. And so you're kind of waiting. And then, not that Tori Spelling's in this for a minimal amount of time, but I just found her, her presence just rather annoying.
This just isn't gonna work now, is it?
I just found the whole kind of ghost that she's having sex with not really funny, and she's on the roof getting fucked, but it's not. I didn't find that funny. I just found it more annoying because I don't know if they're trying to just cash grab because 90210 and just went, oh, Tori Spelling's available. But I feel like at that point she kind of did anything, just because she always kind of seemed a bit, well, to me, it's always kind of like, look at me.
Come on, baby, we can work this out. I mean, if we just stick together, no one can hurt us, my love.
It was just a booty call.
Why won't you talk to me?
Because you gave me crabs.
I think it's just the issue of being stuck in one house, whereas the first one is kind of outdoor settings, indoor settings, night, day. This is kind of just one night essentially. So there's a lot of pressure on them to kind of make sure it's a good movie. But yeah, obviously the box office says so. The reception's really bad compared to the first. So it's not just us three thinking it's bad. It's just a rushed movie. If they spent, 3 more months at least, I think it could have been quite better. And I feel like 9 months is a lot of time to try and think of what movies to parody, because it probably would have been really hard for them with things coming out and trying to be like, well, what are we parodying? What do we try and assume is going to be, a good movie to reference? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because you could go very wide in terms of trying to reference every single horror movie ever made.
Yeah.
Or do you do just horror movies in the 90s or the year 2000, 2001, or do just a 70s parody? Different ways it could go. I mean, they could even do just a 50s parody and just do 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill or some shit.
I agree with you, Byron. Tori Spelling's character in that storyline's kind of like, okay, all right.
What's going on with you? Do I know you? Actually, we never officially met. Remember me? I bumped into you in the cafeteria, and you were so sweet. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And you said, watch it, white bitch, or I'll put my size 8 in your ass. And I thought, how cool, because, I wear an 8 too, This is my best friend, Cindy, by the way.
We already know each other.
Huh.
Ooh, your little friendies, hell.
Actually, we just met.
Well, the bitch is crazy.
In terms of trivia, there's actually quite a lot about this movie. So, for instance, the director, Keenan Ivory Wayans, stated that the filmmakers watched over 130 horror films for background research. Marlon Brando was originally cast as Father McFeely. I didn't know that was the character's name. Anyway, and Marlon Brando completed 1 day of filming before he had to leave the production due to illness. He was replaced by James Woods, who was paid $1 million for 4 days' work. And there were some other people who were considered, like Charlton Heston, even President Bill Clinton were considered for that role. But it was such a punishing production schedule that they just had to choose whoever could actually fit that role. And because of that schedule, it made the Wayans never want to make another scary movie. And they were never involved with any of the sequels. They also had the future sequels and all the rights to the movie just ripped out from under them. So they've also never been fairly paid for Scary Movie 3, 4, 5, which is a huge scandal. But, that's something we'll discuss when we come to Scary Movie 3.
Suck on this.
The Wayans brothers didn't release another horror movie parody until A Haunted House and A Haunted House 2. I hate those movies. They're not funny. I'm sorry. I know there's fans of those movies out there. I'm not one of them. I just thought it was shit. So even with the Wayans brothers involved with a horror movie parody, I felt like this was just it. They had one great idea, and then this one was a good idea, but not necessarily that great.
Yeah.
And then A Haunted House was really?
Yeah, he kind of is a little bit of a hornball.
So that basketball dance scene was a parody of a Nike commercial titled Freestyle that was very popular around the time of Scary Movie 2's release. The character Natasha Lyonne plays is Megan Voorhees, and Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears turned down the role. So they could have done a small cameo, and I don't know if it would have worked with Christina or Britney though. I can't see them doing it.
Nah, and I feel like it was in their prime that it probably manager wise be it's a bad idea, and it's probably good because I feel we would have that opinion on them like I do with Tori Spelling in this film.
Yeah,
just kind of be useless cameo that wasn't really paid $1 million to appear for 15 seconds. That wasn't really. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's Britney Spears now. Being possessed by the exorcist, she's doing the spinning dancing her Instagram videos. Apparently many people bought tickets for this in the US simply to see the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and after the trailer ran, many people left the theater. But I don't know how they measure that. Maybe it's only one specific area, or if it's a widely reported thing, but who knows?
Yeah, okay.
Do you feel lucky? Punk? Do you feel lucky? Do you feel lucky, Punk?
I don't know if you're reading the same IMDb trivia, but
I think it was about the molding or the boobs or something.
Yeah, it feels like it's written by Tori Spelling herself. I'm just
it's been approved by her to write, I think, yeah.
There's some Wikipedia pages where I'm I know that celebrity or their management wrote this as opposed to other people writing it. But yeah, in short, she refused to do any nudity. She also refused to allow body doubles, cast moldings, etc. of her chest area. But she stood her ground and said, no, I'm not doing any nudity, etc., etc. And her father, legendary TV producer Aaron Spelling, said, if you don't do it, they'll cut you out of the movie. And she claims that she had much more of a lead role in this. She was supposed to be co-lead with Anna Faris and Regina Hall. I forgot her last name for a minute. But she was cut down to just a cameo. And look, there are some deleted scenes that do back up her claim.
6 months and 2 restraining orders later, I decide I deserve better than that,
I feel like Tori Spelling's maybe just a little bit delusional.
It's funny because in that trivia, it obviously sounds like someone wrote it because at the end it goes, but just like her father predicted, Bob Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein cut Tori's role down to a cameo when in reality she was basically a lead role. But the just like her father predicted sounds to me as someone obviously greenlit that to be put in. No one writes that as trivia.
It's just strange.
Yeah, it is. I kind of I understand her point, but it just the whole thing sounds a bit I don't know. It's a bit weird.
It also 2001, so this would have been 3 years after Beverly Hills 90210 wrapped.
I wasn't doing anything, yeah.
Yeah, and there was that period in the 2000s where it's on Bravo in America or Arena on Foxtel if you're in Australia. She was on like every single show. It'd be like So Notorious, which by the way is a really funny show, or Tori and Dean in Love, or Tori walks the dogs to the mailbox, or like she had so many reality shows and all that jazz. Little bit of trivia around marketing. So Natasha Lyonne was completely wasted at the Scary Movie 2 press junket, and she actually ran out and vomited during one of the interviews, which I think I've seen a clip for her on YouTube, and it's just like, is she just being in character like when they all vomit on each other? Tori Spelling, of course, did have a cameo in Scream 2 as well, with Cindy even joking in Scream that with her luck, Tori Spelling would be cast as a film version of herself. So, you know, it's just funny how that comes full circle.
God is good. God is great. But not all the time. I mean, sometimes he can be a real asshole. I mean, I've been praying to him for like 24 years now, and I've yet to hear a voice. Not one damn message on my answering machine. So if you can hear me, and I know you're up there, thanks for the food. It is like the least that you could do for us. Amen. Let's eat.
There's an alternative ending with James Woods reappearing as Father McFeely.
I'm afraid we're too late.
Father!
Oh, my child, you're alive!
Yes, we made it!
We? What do you mean, we?
Me and my friends. You see, there was this ghost and he just
My
came
dear,
out of nowhere.
my dear. You are the only survivor.
There's one in the kitchen. It's ass, blood, and guts everywhere. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me we're dead?
I guess so.
And get off me.
I'm sorry.
No, but my friends are right.
Wait a second. I'm still handicapped? This is bullshit.
My psychic ain't tell me I was gonna die. I'ma haunt that bitch. Oh my God.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must bless this house.
When Cindy and Buddy are locked in the freezer, it's a spoof of Hollow Man. By the way, that freezer scene, I love that. The only thing I find funny about that part is when Cindy's just like, that's it, we're going to get us out of here. And she's like putting all the materials together and builds a fucking caterpillar tractor.
Yeah. So good.
And even like the little things she does, like where she's like she's got an idea. So, of course, at the end, we find out that Hanson is possessed and he cuts open Shorty's head, which is a spoof of Hannibal, where at the end he cuts that guy's head off, eats his brains, etc. But it felt a little odd to have that parody in this one, but whatever.
Who's ready for the main course?
Me. Oh, Hanson, please. No.
What the fuck?
Beef juice in the house. This is your brains on drugs. Oh, shit, son.
I'm going to give this movie 5 out of 10. I recognize that there are a lot of shortcomings, but I think what saves this is Cindy, Brenda, and also Ray and Shorty for me, Ray steps up with a lot of funny aspects in this movie. I will always quote when he's wearing the red dress, and he's like, well, I bought mine on Friday. I just came down here to get a banana. Shit is hot, right? Like, every time. I'm actually surprised that, there hasn't been a drag race queen that's, like, made fun of that yet or done that as, like, a design challenge.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh, even when, in season 6, when they did that horror movie challenge, it's like, gee, I'd be like, gag me with a DeLorean. Like, DeLorean.
What's a DeLorean? So
fucking love Gia Gunn.
Absolutely.
But also recognizing with Scary Movie 2 that, it is unfair what happened to it. Just, I think 5 out of 10 is fair. It's not too harsh. It's not too overly crazy in a sense. BP, I have a feeling you're going to give this like negative 69 out of 10, but what's your score?
No, I'm going to go higher than you. I'm going to go 5.5. I had that written down when I was watching it. 5.5. Maybe like exorcism licks out of 10, like the. I don't want to say it, but you know what I mean.
Who sent your only son into the world to crush that roaring tiger? And who got that unholy bitch Jerry kicked off of Survivor?
Fuck me! Fuck me!
Father! Father! This is not part of the ritual.
I'm gonna give it 5 vomit and piss gags out of 10.
She's good. Our average is 5.25 out of 10, which I think is fair. So we'll leave it at that. I just wish, and I know the filmmakers wish as well, because they talk a lot about it. I just wish the studio allowed the filmmakers more time to develop a proper sequel that may have been released in like 2002 or 2003 to really have such a more cohesive storyline, more funny parts, bring back Gale Weathers, bring back the funny people from the first one. But yeah, unfortunately, this is just a warning in rushed production nature. So yeah.
Oh my god! They can't hear me! Must be these walls or something.
I understand the success of the first one and the need to make a sequel, but I think if they just allowed them more creative control to finesse it and spend like 3 to 6 months more, I think this could have been a really good sequel. Maybe not as good as the first one, but a lot better than what we've sort of watched. And as us three have discussed, and some people on the internet, some people will disagree, but yeah, it is a rushed production with just some filling cameos. The execution's not really there, unfortunately. And as you know, Coop said, pacing's off. The jokes are not really there either. So it's okay. But again, I feel like there's probably 1 or 2 better sequels after this, which is interesting.
Look, I know you're proud, okay? Just let me help you.
Step it back, Candy Pants!
Fine.
It's nowhere near as good as the first one. It's unfortunate that it was rushed. I agree with both of you. If they had more time to piece something together that made a bit more sense, and they'd be able to fully utilize all the movie references needed to make it another really good parody movie, then it could have been amazing. It's just a shame that it wasn't. To anyone who is watching the franchise for the first time, don't give up here. There is more good to come, but it may not end well, just so you're aware.
I'll get up!
Why is he running so slow?
Ray! Run faster!
Okay! Now shut the fuck up and let me get on with the story!
Fuck him up, Ray!
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we 3 willing in the fall, we could go see. So if you wanna go and get high with me, smoke a L in the back of the Benzie. Oh, must I feel this way? If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we 3 willing in the
honey. It was me all along. I killed Hugh Kane and his mistress, too. Both of them? Did I just fucking say that?
Oh, come on. Cindy, the news is on. Another little white girl done fell down the well. 50 black people get their ass beat by police today, but the whole world gotta stop for one little whitey down the hole. Cindy? The TV's leaking.
Welcome back, fans and friends, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. Today, we are discussing Scary Movie 3, the third entry into the Scary Movie franchise, and personally, my favorite one.
Turn it off. It's not working. It's backwards. What do I do?
And this movie, unfortunately, was the first one to not have any involvement with the Wayans brothers, so Keenan Ivory Wayans didn't come back as a director. We also lose Ray and Shorty, who were in the first two movies.
Ain't that a bitch?
And the reason for that is very complex, and we'll discuss that in the trivia section.
I sure hope so, Cindy.
This is my favorite scary movie out of all of them, but it closely ties with the first one as to what I want to rewatch from time to time. But there's so many little funny parts in this one. I feel it's so much more stupider. It's so much funnier. And I saw this at the movies with my older sister when I was 11 or 12 at the time. I've never laughed so much. Like, the only other movie I can compare this to is the original Scary Movie. So this feels like a huge return to form after the slightly disappointing second installment.
Well, this just isn't going to work now, is it?
It is, yeah, a massive step up from the second Scary Movie. It's not personally, it's not my favorite, but I mean, there's so much to love about it as well. I remember us quoting this at school so often. Like, it was probably the main thing that we would quote this in the sketch show just all day long at Nambucca Primary. So very fond memories of this movie. Always a pleasure to come back and watch it. But there's also a few things that I don't like that we'll get to as well. So yeah.
Escandalo.
Escandalo.
What about yourself, BP? Do you have any overall thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely a step up from number 2. It's a step in the right direction. I think the absence of the Wayans brothers maybe in some ways is missed, but I think also they kind of have a leg to do their own thing here, and I think they do a pretty good job at it. I mostly like it. I think it is also a very commercial film to enjoy out of the series, and I think they chose really good movies to parody in this one compared to number 2 at least.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Anna Faris in this, I think, has a lot of just good scenes that kind of have that ditzy character of hers, which she does really well.
Brenda, it was Mardi Gras. I never drank vodka before, and I was out of beads.
No, not that tape, Cindy.
Definitely an improvement over 2. And at this point, I will say this is sort of the peak of then the decline of what's sort of soon to happen of sorts. So I feel like this is kind of like one of the last goodies in the series, unfortunately. But yeah, still pretty good.
A News 8 exclusive. The killer videotape you've been hearing about. We're the only station that has it, and we're showing it all night. Very exciting. Let's roll it again.
I feel you're 100% right about that too, because after Scary Movie 3, it was then Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans. There's there's a whole Fast and Furious parody called Super Fast, which I watched. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be, but it still doesn't hold a candle to like Scary Movie 1 and 3. there's so many little parts to this which are just so funny to me and probably not funny to anyone else. And they form my favorite parts. Like, for instance, the part where Cindy's looking at the computer, then the boat horn scares her, and she's on the boat. It's not funny, but I fucking lose it every time I see it. Or even when she's like walking into Aunt Shaniqua's house, and Aunt Shaniqua's like, "And don't worry about that vase." And she's like, "Oh, sorry." And then the vase falls on top of her, and Aunt Shaniqua's like, "That vase." Just so many parodies of even non-horror movies, like The Matrix, which was done to death by 2003. Like, did you know The Matrix had a Christmas special, and that there was also the Animatrix? It was
I knew about the Animatrix and Enter the Matrix, which was the PS2 game, which there was also like scenes shot like just for that as well. So yeah.
God, I remember The Matrix was everywhere. Like 2002, 2003. It was insane. But then there's just other little funny parts, like when they're watching the videotape and she's like, "It looks like a cigarette." I was going to say
oh yeah, because she's psychic, doesn't she? It kind of gets really annoying. Yeah.
So can you tell me about
the tape?
Yes, I watched it in
the phone rang.
Right, and then this voice said
you would die in 7 days.
Okay, that's getting
extremely annoying.
I'll be at work and then I'll have time to think about something and look up and just have a chuckle to myself, and that would be that. But you tell someone that, they'll be like, "How's that funny?" You'd be like, "Oh, you had to be there."
I do that all the time. I'll be I did this the other day. I was grocery shopping, pushing a trolley by myself, and I thought about the part at the start of this movie where it's like they answer the phone and she's like, "Yeah, big house, only one phone." And then it's the weird voice being like, "I'm coming for you." Hi, Mom. And I'm walking around this Coles in Lakemba just being like, not realizing someone's watching me, and they're probably thinking I'm laughing at them. And it's like, no, sorry, I'm thinking about a 20-year-old parody movie. Like,
who's this?
That's Ralph. He's right over there.
Another strong opening with this one. Pamela Anderson checking on the severed head of her friend will never not be funny.
Katie? Are you okay? Are you okay?
The scene that both BP and myself have as our background, and the hats, the wonderful hats that we are wearing right now. That is, classic. I mean, that's one of those scenes that should be like preserved in the comedy museum or something. It's absolutely classic.
There's always an explanation for all this so-called phenomena.
Maybe you're right. It's probably just the Friesels.
And when I get through with them, I doubt you'll be seeing anything strange on this farm for a long time. We'll see. You're right, Tom. Get some rest.
Rap scene part is hilarious with the whole like, all right, everybody turn your safeties on and like all that shit. It's fucking heaps good. When the hood comes in to save the day and just end up killing each other.
Sit down! Get down!
I can't believe what I just saw.
These men died for their country. Send flowers to their bitches and hoes.
Selfie in a hospital bed to get social media attention.
Sorry. What the fuck was that?
Don't really want to get into
Hold on. You're watching Family Guy, man.
Don't really want to get into it. And he like scosses his hair.
Last thing I wanted on it.
Sorry, it was Facebook for some reason on my phone.
Okay.
I was like, what
You're right,
the fuck
Tom.
is... I was like, is my room haunted or some shit? Sorry to cut you off, Coop.
No, all good. What else? The I like how they were making fun of signs, the attack here, crop circle,
the arrow,
with, crop text, the footage, where there's always like dogs humping every time an alien is there. There's just lots of classic shit in this. Brenda fighting Tabitha is so good. Lots to love.
Cindy, this bitch is messing up my floor. Cindy, help me.
I'm not listening.
Get up, you little ugly bitch. Come on. Let me see what you got. What you going to? That's all. Hey. Ooh, I'm whipping her ass, Cindy. Yeah.
Tabitha was an evil girl. Killed our puppies, poisoned the horses, hid the remote. Real sick shit.
Hit the remote on it. Oh god.
This part always makes me die as well. It's the part where Cindy realizes that the barn is where they kept Tabitha the whole time because she sees the ladder. And then she bumps into the thing of marbles, and then all the marbles fall down. Then all the fruit comes in and gets bigger and bigger.
Melon.
I still die when I see that because every time I watch The Ring, it's always that part where it's like Naomi Watts knocks over the marbles, and like this is a bit of a Mandela effect. I could have sworn, like the first couple of times I watched The Ring, when the marbles fall over, it forms an arrow that like points to the well, but it doesn't. It's just a random stack of marbles. So I don't know why
You've
the fuck I
gone
thought that.
insane.
I mean, I went insane since I was like born, but yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? Why do I misremember that? Also, just that part where it's Charlie Sheen in the car and he's like, hey, being told that he's killed. Your wife is this. I don't understand this fancy medical lingo. so fucking stupid. But BB, do you have any favorite parts of Scary Movie 3?
Yeah, as I said, there's quite a few funny scenes in this movie, and it's like a return to like the first one and just the way it's executed. So like as Coop said, this scene's just hilarious because it's just the fact that there's no CGI. Literally, she's just putting a hat between the scenes of Charlie Sheen and her talking, and that it just gets so big. And then when she's trying to get in the car, she's obviously struggling, and he's like, "You right, Tom?" And then, the crash scene I love because as I said earlier, it's like he's walking along to his wife, and then the guy that like obviously caused the accident's like, "Hey, Tom, I'm gonna need a ride." And it's just like, okay. And then when she's like pinned against the tree and then she's like, no more sex. He's like, oh, go to the light. Like tries to shut her eyes. and then the headlight goes out. And it's, I love the Ring video. I always crack up at that. Even just like when she's brushing her hair and then she's just... And then you know when it's like the flies on the screen and then goes back and then the girl's like brushing hair like we did talk about when Cindy gets the phone call from like the 7 days and she's like, how do you spell that? And then she's like and then it's like, hi, this is Stu from Reader's Digest. I want to talk to Tommy. And then she's like, okay.
Calling from Reader's Digest with a fantastic offer for Cody.
No, you're not. You're that evil little girl from the tape.
Okay, you got me. How about I just leave a message for him?
Fine. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, how do you spell that? Right. Okay, got it. Bye-bye.
The one thing we haven't spoken about, which I think only starts in this one, it's that continuity that happens in number 4. And I think it's in this one where, yeah, it's the two, it's like the Kevin Hart guy and the other guy, and they always agree. He's like, if you go missing in like thin air, then doesn't that mean you're already there to start with? Do you know when they had that like little disagreement? Yeah.
What if we stop living down
wake
here
up dead.
and move over there?
Yeah. It's like, how do you wake up dead? Yeah. I like even those are the things. It's like kind of stupid, but it's like hilarious because you see it in number 4, I think. Yeah. I think it's just they do a good job of the ring aspect in this. I think they do a really good interpretation of it. And even when Brenda's like, and when Brenda's pretending to like froth at the mouth, and
I got you with the old fake hair.
and she's like, Cindy, the TV's leaking.
That comically large thing of ice cream's heaps good as well.
That's pretty much it. There's a lot of funny parts of this film. Yeah.
There are so many that we haven't even touched on because this movie just has such a rapid fire.
Yeah.
Like joke after joke after joke. Like even the dumbest thing, like in the opening scene where the fridge door swings open and it's parodying The Ring where Amber Tamblin's character just shuts the fridge and that's it. But Pamela Anderson is like really struggling to close the fridge because it keeps opening that up. Or even like Brenda's funeral where her parents are like, oh, she looks so peaceful. And she's like, it's so dumb.
If only God had taken us instead of our daughter.
And knowing your Brenda like I did, I'd say she wishes the same thing.
These are the photos that she took of the trip, and Cindy's like, huh, they're Blake. Turn them around, honey. Oh, they're like, and Cindy's like, who's this? And they're like, that's Ralph, he's over there. And he's got the same twisted face.
Oh god, that's funny. It's just like the little things that make this movie, I think.
Yeah. I'm just going to say the running time. I feel like it could have been longer. This feels like a movie where you press play and then it almost finishes too soon because you're having such a good time laughing at everything.
Yeah.
That's just like, maybe even like an extra 10 minutes would have helped do it justice. I felt that the parodies that they chose were so spot on, especially for the target market. Like these are going to be teens, people in their early 20s. So, 2003, I remember the biggest movies were, The Ring, or even for non-horror stuff, like 8 Mile with Eminem and Brittany Murphy was such a huge phenomenon out of nowhere. And, of course, stoners are going to go and watch Scary Movie 3. So they were very wise in doing all the 8 Mile parodies, but they were also really funny. Like the rap battles, Simon Cowell makes a cameo appearance, even when they're making fun of 8 Mile, where in the original movie, Eminem gets really nervous, so he throws up in the toilet. And in Scary Movie 3, he throws up on the other guy, and the guy's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or when they're in 8 Mile, they do the paintball guns throughout the streets. And in Scary Movie 3, Kevin Hart's like throwing out the buckets of paint. It's just so dumb. But maybe if it just had maybe one more horror movie to parody. But at the same time, like I'm really grasping at straws trying to find something that I personally dislike about this. So Coop, maybe you can help me out here. Do you have any least favorite parts of Scary Movie 3?
Yeah, it's something that starts in this movie and then kind of gets worse and worse as the franchise goes on. I reckon that the use of slapstick in this is like a bit over the top in this movie, and just the way that they do it And then, moving forward, that's something that just gets worse and worse throughout the franchise. And it starts in this movie. So that's like a big gripe with me. Like almost all of the slapsticky bits, particularly with the kid flying and getting hit in the head and all that shit's a bit like, it becomes really tedious really quickly in this movie.
Attaboy.
There's also that part where she's in the newsroom at the start. And she's like, I sense evil. I can tell where danger is near. Then she just runs into the microphone. And I'm just like, I don't really think that's like too funny, but they marketed that one scene in like every fucking trailer.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm just like, there's so many more funny things. Why focus on that one boring ass scene? But
like, it should have just been like when it's like coming soon and then like the boat horn scene. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Like just anything else, but meh. What about yourself, BP? Do you have any least favorite parts?
Not particularly. I think it would have been interesting if the Wayne brothers had their way. Like if this film was outright and then they had their way to kind of finesse it, it would have been interesting to see what they would have added to it. Because it's definitely an upgrade from 2, but it's definitely a downgrade from 1. And I still kind of feel like something is like slightly missing, maybe just the whole continuity of the film. Or like Coop said, number 4 has a lot of tedious bits, which Coop touched on really well in this movie. But number 3, I can kind of understand where Coop's coming from. It's sort of like a new sort of imagining of scary movie. I don't think it's not top tier, but this is something stopping it. But I don't really know what it is. It could just be it's lost that magic that 2 kind of had, because it still had the Wayne brothers in it, but even though 2 was really bad, and 1 had because the Wayne brothers had that full control. So I think it's kind of lost a little bit of that magic, but I still think it's good. But nothing really that was kind of, personally, like the rap scene, I didn't really care for, I guess, because I didn't really ever watch 8 Mile. So it wasn't sort of something I kind of understood. So I felt like it kind of went on maybe a little bit too long, but the ring stuff was really good. So a couple of scenes here and there, but nothing that's really standing out as a major drawback.
Yeah. And that's an interesting point too about 8 Mile, because even though it was a big phenomenon, I don't think if you were like swept up in the craze of like idolizing Eminem, back in the early 2000s and didn't watch 8 Mile, there would have been a lot of scenes that probably didn't make sense. Like when like the rap battle, when he's throwing the paint at people on the streets, like that, it would have been funny anyway, but it was so hilarious to me because I had watched 8 Mile before this. So I'm like, oh, I get what they're parodying.
It's interesting that you say that, because I wonder if they thought Eminem would have obviously been like probably the biggest selling musician at the time, let alone rapper. So I wonder if they just thought, oh, this is going to work for a horror movie, or if they went, oh, people that like horror movies listen to rappers. Like it would have been interesting to sort of why it was put in to start with, because it's just commercially a successful movie that they thought will kind of rub off into a horror movie. But I feel like 8 Mile doesn't really have a place in Scary Movie 3 for me personally. I kind of think something else could have filled that void. But like for you guys that have kind of watched the movie and understand it, it's funny to you. But me watching it, I'm not really getting it. But yeah, I guess it's a different target market. But it's just interesting that implementation that they've got, like they've got the ring in this, they've got 8 Mile, Signs. Any other ones?
I know that there's a couple more.
Yeah. So there's not really like a lot. It's kind of really like 3 in this. Matrix.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But Matrix is what, like
Matrix, 8 Mile are the main ones.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah, 8 Mile, but yeah, I mean, still works. So
yeah. I mentioned at the start of this episode that it was supposed to be more primarily Matrix influence. So there's entire scenes which I'm not sure if they're on the DVD or Blu-ray release, but they're definitely up on YouTube, and I'll link them in the description. But there's like entire scenes where it's like Cindy's in the full Matrix outfit. She fights a whole army of Tabithas. And then after she's done, she like flies up, hits her head on a post or something. And it's not really funny. It's just like, okay. It's that slapstick element again, but it's not really done effectively. Likewise, there's alternative endings, including where George turns into the Hulk and then and that's in Scary Movie 3.5. And there's like other deleted scenes included in that as well, like a extended opening where Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy, it's like a huge extended thing, and they're like, something, what about my shaved pussy? And then she holds up a hairless cat. She's like, nobody gets Snowball or something. And it's like, I get it. It's just like, it's just not funny. So I see why they cut that. And I'm just glad that there was some studio interference with this movie, which I never thought I'd ever say about a movie. But yeah, and probably the worst and most horrifying trivia about this is the fact that, what does it say? On November 22, 2002, Dimension Films announced a third Scary Movie without the Wayans brothers, which we'll get into after. The movie was given the title Scary Movie 3, Episode 1, Lord of the Brooms, and the movie was supposed to make fun of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter. And Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, who eventually went on to do Date Movie and all the other shitty parody movies that aren't funny, they were going to write it, and David Zucker was going to shoot that script, but eventually decided not to use it. Thank fucking God, because how is it supposed to be a scary movie if it's making fun of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter? Like, what the fuck? Just, how does that even make sense?
Yeah.
But then there's a whole issue where, so the Wayans, the Wayans brothers, so that includes Keenan Ivory, who directed the first two, plus Marlon and Sean, who played Ray and Shorty in the first two movies. They were supposed to come back for Scary Movie 3, but Keenan Ivory wanted more of a longer time frame to write, produce, edit this movie. He wasn't even told officially that he was being let go from the franchise. He found out after reading it in a 2002 sales stocks Hollywood Report thing. And so like the Weinsteins, who, you know, owned Dimension Films at the time, they just cut them out of all future profits or like credits, everything like that. So they're not credited for Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5, even though they use characters that they wrote. So they're like withholding royalties. They've decided to just scrap them completely. I mean, surely it's like a standard practice. You'd at least pay them to use like the characters of Cindy, Brenda. No other characters from the first two are in this, but I don't know, it just feels very shit and unfair. And, you know, if there was going to be a Scary Movie 6, I would like to see it where it's like the Wayans brothers plus David Zucker, because I feel like they actually make, you know, if they combined each other, maybe we would get like a really great middle ground between Scary Movie 1 and 3 without all the stupid slapstick elements. Or if it's going to use slapstick, it's used sparingly and effectively. But hey, who knows? I mean, it's been 10 years since Scary Movie 5, so who knows what's going to happen. There's also just some other trivia on Anthony Anderson, his character Malik, who turned out so popular in test screenings that he actually shot additional scenes while the movie was still in post-production. So, yeah, part of that dynamic with the you can't go to bed dead and wake up alive. Like, I love all that stuff. As we all know, the opening scene where Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy are discussing what happens on the tape, Jenny McCarthy starts talking about a boat and a car, which is a reference to Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's infamous sex tape that was stolen and released online. This is a bit of a weird trivia. This was the only Scary Movie to be nominated for a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
Is this the one where they get slimed?
Yeah, probably.
It's like Katy Perry getting blasted in the face with slime.
I love that kid.
Of course it's her that fucking gets that, isn't it?
Continuing the trend from the first two movies, so they do make fun of commercials in this one, and it's that one with the and twins, and then out of nowhere it's just that whole dance sequence in the office. But this was actually a Coors Light beer ad, which I've never seen and never will, and they've actually got two twins, Diane and Elaine, and they reprise their roles as a twins. I didn't really get it.
You'll have to edit in footage of Jinx on the pit stop being like, and twins.
Yes.
and twins. Remember that commercial?
No.
And twins. You remember it now that she said it again?
Yep, repeat it one more time.
It was a beer commercial, and they were like, and twins.
Simon Cowell has since regretted making an appearance in this movie. He admitted that he was embarrassed to see himself on film, but he probably made like, I don't know, 500 grand just from appearing in it for like, what, 20 seconds?
I think that scene was like funny because the only other scene I've seen that is like Meet the Spartans when it's like Randy Jackson and that. Like, yeah, it's like, what do we think, Judge? Yeah. Paul is like,
That's so good.
I think it's funny there. I think it's funny with him, and it's like absolutely disgusting, whatever he says. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like the height of American Idol's popularity. Like that show was like, that show used to screen in Australia. What the fuck? Why do we care so much about American shit?
Yeah.
But on the last day of filming, Anna Faris was actually hit in the face by the airport cart prop, but was unscathed. I don't remember an airport cart prop. Maybe this is supposed to be for Scary Movie 4, this little bit of trivia.
No idea.
I don't remember it playing in. Oh well, anyway. A lengthy alternative ending was shot but later scrapped, and that ending included what was on Scary Movie 3.5, where it turns out Cody isn't real and Cindy was just imagining him, and all the stuff around the Matrix Reloaded bullshit, which thankfully got scrapped as well.
Wait a minute, you mean the woman that whipped the entire world into a frenzy is nuts?
We don't say nuts anymore. It's demeaning.
Thank you.
We prefer mentally ill, or in this case, completely batshit.
Coming full circle with the Scream franchise again. So Jenny McCarthy appears in this movie in the opening scene, as we've discussed, because she turned down a role in the original Scary Movie to appear in Scream 3. So, I don't know, it seems like it's always linked, these two movies.
I don't understand the connection between all that stuff.
Simon Rex, who plays George, is actually a rapper who goes by the name Dirt Nasty, so he's actually a rapper in real life. I wonder if he also raps like Ning, Bing, Wing.
Should, would, could.
Good, dig, bug.
Good mug, Doug, bug.
Oh, if we say we'll come, will you shut your ass up?
When Cindy, so the part before the boat horn transition, when she's searching about Morton Lighthouse, there are several pop-ups that appear on screen, but one is not an ad. It says, this may sound overly simplified, but high interest rates eventually cause low interest rates, and conversely, low interest rates eventually lead to high interest rates with a yellow background. That's really
I feel like that's a you, Justin thing. Justin, you would do that.
Oh, I definitely would. I'm just like, why is this in trivia?
Yeah.
Oh, you think I'm crazy, don't you?
Of course I do. But the last thing you need now is a screw up like me.
Anthony Anderson, who of course was in this one and Scary Movie 4, he would later appear in Scream 4. He's the cop that gets stabbed in the head and he says, fuck Bruce Willis. So, again, it's always tied.
DJ, spin that shit!
So the scene where someone throws crayons at the door and then Brenda says, now who the fuck did that? It was one of the only 2 times that they were allowed to get away with saying a swear word to get the PG-13 rating. Otherwise, it's some stupid rule where it's like if you swear more than 3 times or have too much violence, it would have been upgraded to an R rating in America. So, I guess they got away with PG-13 in that aspect.
Did that?
I'm going to be very controversial and give this movie 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Again, yes, I know. I'm just giving out all the 10s today, but no, this is a movie that I absolutely fucking loved as a kid, as an adult, as a teenager, as a 30-year-old. I just think this is one movie that I'm probably going to watch every couple of years till the day I die. I think it's so underrated, so funny. I do recognize its flaws and that maybe in another 10 years, like more humor will date over time, but for now, I'm just going to continue to watch this one and Scary Movie, the original one. Yeah. Coop, what about yourself? What would you give this movie out of 10?
I'm going to give this 7 growing sheriff hats. 10.
Nice. And BP?
I'll give it 7.5 boat horns out of 10.
Also, I'm just thinking about that boat horn thing. I wonder why they didn't parody the ring part where she's on the boat and the horse like jumps over her and gets like killed in the water.
Oh yeah.
Like I was waiting. I was waiting for something like that to happen, and then it's just like the transition where she goes onto the island and she pays for the parking. It's a deserted island. So dumb. So even with my high score, the average works out to be 8 out of 10, which I think is fair. So yeah, I mean, it's better than whatever the average was for Scary Movie 2.
What is this? Oh my God. Well, it was a long winter.
I feel like some of the humor has been dated, but it's more to do with like the slapstick elements or like the over-reliance on using like weed as a funny thing, but that same criticism is for the first 2 movies as well. But, you know, I have very little to talk shit about this movie with. Coop, what about yourself? Do you have any final thoughts?
I think it's a good entry in the franchise. Yeah, as we said, big step up from number 2. I would agree with BP that it's a step down from number 1 though. And yeah, as I mentioned, the sort of slapstick aspects of it kind of like give me the shits a little bit. But it is a good watch, very quotable, enjoyable movie. And yeah, unlike number 2, I wouldn't skip this one. So yeah.
Nice. And BP, last but not least, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good return to form for the series at this point. Yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It is very quotable. They obviously parody really good horror movies in this. I think they do a really good job at it. Unfortunately, for most viewers out there, they would probably perceive this as like the last of the best, the last good scary movie in the franchise, because from here it starts to go downhill, unfortunately, personally. But yeah, it's still a good watch. Vast improvement over number 2. Not as good number 1, but still pretty good entry for, 3 out of 5 movies in.
Yeah. Nice.
You want hard-hitting stories and in-depth coverage and
twins. Parties that never end. Dogs that love cats. And twins. I love burritos at 4 a.m. Parties that never end. Dogs that love cats.
Welcome back, fans and friends, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. Today we're discussing Scary Movie 4. For me, which is the finale in the Scary Movie franchise, yes, there's Scary Movie 5, but that doesn't have Cindy or Brenda, so it's not a proper Scary Movie movie.
What the hell was that for? You hurt my feelings.
Primarily, I guess, parodies, War of the Worlds, The Grudge, Saw, but does it do a good job? I don't know, we'll soon see. Now, the movie brings back Anna Faris as Cindy and Regina Hall as Brenda, two of the funniest people in all of cinema.
I thought you were dead. Oh, I thought you were dead too.
I don't know. I just feel like this movie had more potential. They definitely brought some new characters who bring more to it. For example, so Tom, Cindy's love interest for this one, I feel like he's very naturally funny, especially in your Zoom background, BP, with the Oprah scene where he makes fun of Tom Cruise. But I also just feel like there's not really enough that makes this, well, scary.
Holy shit! Someone put a towel under her or something.
I think this is the beginning of the end for the franchise. This is the sort of the Titanic, hit the iceberg. And Scary Movie 5 was what it split into. I still think this is better than 2, but I think it's a downwards step from 3.
3. You counting now? 1, 2, 3. Open the door. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
As Coop mentioned in 3, this is where the slapstick stuff gets really annoying quick. There's that stupid little girl who's meant to be like Dakota Fanning out of War of the Worlds or whatever. Incessant screaming and just what happens to her, I just didn't care about. It annoyed me.
Imagine being out there.
That last one sounded really close.
Don't worry, lightning never strikes in the same place twice.
I don't really feel like the cameos are doing much for the movie at this point. It feels a little bit Tori Spelling all over again with Dr. Phil being in it. Like,
bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with BP. I mean, the slapstick in this one is just too much. I mean, this is where it kind of takes over. It just tries to fill any gap where there isn't really a joke or much happening there.
Shut your ass up, Snowho.
There's still a lot that I enjoy about it. I remember loving it when I first saw it. I think we saw it at the movies together, actually, Justin, from memory. But as far as like rewatch value, it's not the first one. It's all the third one, really. It's not as quotable.
We're already finishing each other's
Dinner.
sentences.
I mean, we're talking about parody movies. Silliness. The silliness of it shouldn't be an issue, but as we saw in parts of this, and by this time there was like date movie and all that kind of shit, epic movie, and all the others I've lost count that were just ridiculous, and they were all just slapstick movies by that point, and this almost falls into that, but isn't as definitely not as bad as any of those movies because there's still some good jokes in here and there, but yeah, not amazing, but it hadn't completely fallen off at this point, as we'll see when we talk about the one that comes after this. But yeah.
The one thing I always say all the time, completely unprovoked, is when Brenda's showing Cindy all the alien attacks around the world, and she's like, look, here's Detroit, and here's Detroit after the alien attack, and all they've done is superimpose the aliens over like the city in chaos.
Gunshots, yeah.
It's like such a stupid joke when I quote it all the time. Same with when the guy is showing like the business owner is like showing her the house, and he sees like the hair coming out of the wall, and he's just like wrapping it around himself. He's like, who wants to see upstairs? Like just trying to hide the fact that it's fucking hers. But also there's some little jokes in this one which were more prominent in Scary Movie 3, like when Cindy goes up the manhole thing and picks up the picture frame, and it's just like spider webs. Like, I love when it's stupid jokes like that, because it really helps create this, I don't know, funny, tension-filled environment before like the big scare or the big payoff laugh, which in that case was when like she gets scared by the little Asian ghost boy, and then it turns out he's screaming because she's got a lighter under his hand. Like little things like that, but I'm just a little confused why the main parody was War of the Worlds, because that, like, yeah, I guess it was a big movie back in 2005. I mean, Coop, I think you, Dylan, Ryan, and I went and watched that at the cinema, but I don't necessarily think of War of the Worlds as like something to rewatch or like a big movie that I liked in the 2000s. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, that was a movie. Anyway, next.
Cindy's just such like an airhead in these like movies. So it's just her expression, and it's kind of like Jennifer Coolidge being like, awesome and wow, like just the way that Cindy kind of reacts.
I can't read that. It's better.
The scene where the camera pans and then Cindy kind of comes back into shot like and then the camera moves again. It's just like... It's kind of lame, but at the start when Charlie Sheen's going back to the bedroom and she's like, come back to bed, and then the other one's like, yeah, come back to bed. Yeah. And then she's in the house and she's like, hello.
Haro? Hibachi Benihana Teriyaki.
Nagasaki, Okinawa, Hokkaido, Yokohama.
Karate, Judo, Sumo, Samurai.
Nissan, Honda, Mitsubishi, Subaru.
Harikari Tsunami, Kamikaze Banzai.
Yamaha, Nikon, Casio, Aiwa. Minolta, Hitachi, Seiko, Toshiba.
Buddha, Shiitake Kimono.
Tempura, Sushi.
Sashimi.
Fujitsu.
I love that part too because like when we posted that clip on our TikTok, people were saying like, oh, this would never fly today because it's racist. But in actuality, Scary Movie 4 was making fun of how shit the translation was in the Grudge remake because Sarah Michelle Gellar says like watashi wa or something, but like that's not how you say hello. Watashi wa is you're introducing yourself. Like Boku no Namae wa Justin des, because I remembered year 7 to year 10 Japanese, and like it was just making fun of that, but I think that gets lost with some viewers who are just looking to be offended by anything.
You racist asshole!
The other scene I like, which is kind of like lame, but it's also hilarious, is like just like the scene of him trying to get into the car, and he's like, "So on my 3 or your 3?" And he's like, 1, 2, 3, open. And he's like, "What about 4?" He's like, "Why are we going to 4?" And it's just so like dumb, but like he's like, "On your 3 or my 3?" It's just like, okay.
Why would you go on 4?
You gave me 4 first, and you stole
but I
my
have to
4.
count to 3
you
first.
Stole
If
my
you just
4,
let
Tom.
me say 3.
I gotta wait on you now, huh? You want the
After
black
I
man to
say
wait
3,
again?
You can do
huh?
whatever you want.
Well, that's what I've been doing the whole time.
Why would you do that? Why would you reach for it when I say 3? That's what all this is about.
Okay, do I still go on 4?
Listen, when I say 3, you don't have to worry about 4. You got all the time in the world. You can go home, you can watch television and come back, and then open the door.
Fine.
1.
No 1. I'm out. No, thank you. Or I'll take the next one. Does that work for you? Jesus.
Attitude.
Seriously? I'd rather be dead.
Who could forget like just the Saw scenes? And I just like when it's like, you want me to cut something? And it's like, that should be obvious, yes. And it turns to Brenda. It's like, no. Yeah. Yeah, so that Saw scene's funny. And then even just like Oprah at the end when he's just like, whoa, on the lounge and like running around. And then in my thing, yeah. So little things like that. So they're kind of like the things that I liked. Yeah, that's it.
In War of the Worlds, all the technology stops for some reason, but
yeah.
Tom Cruise's car is the only one that works or some bullshit. But in Scary Movie 4, all technology stops, so you see people on bikes and the wheels aren't turning, or the kid jumping onto the skateboard and the skateboard's still in the same place.
And sorry to interject, but just the other scene I liked is when Tom's carrying, he thinks his daughter, and it's not really funny, but I think I realized when it's like an old lady, and he's like, "Who's this then?" And the daughter's just like. You wonder how long he was doing that for, like half an hour, not realizing it's not his daughter.
Yeah.
Rachel! Rachel! Little girl, are you alone? You need to come with me. I'll keep you safe, right, kids? Do you have a little brother?
I like the fact that I mean, the character was sort of split into two characters in this, but that Bill Pullman kind of played the same character that he played in The Grudge.
Yeah.
Because he was in The Grudge and was the guy that killed himself at the start. But in this, it was Charlie Sheen, but Bill Pullman was the one appearing in all of the photographs. And I thought that was kind of a clever way to sort of tie that in. Anthony Anderson and Kevin Hart, although they weren't in it very long, their scene was really funny.
Hey, what you doing? Relax, man. Just trying to grab some nuts. CJ? What are you doing?
I just want to eat some peanuts.
Huh?
See? Peanuts.
With the whole, I mean, why would you do that? I just met them. Like, yeah. Heaps good.
Ooh, baby.
And I want to tell you so much.
I love you. Yeah. We caught a lot of fish.
Yeah. Black cod. Damn.
Tom, I don't want you thinking that hopefully this doesn't affect your opinion. Why would you do that? And that's my first time meeting him.
The opening scene with Dr. Phil and Shaq, as silly as it is, like there's some good shit in that with, wrong foot and all of that. I remember that being so heavily marketed. That was sort of like the main sticking point whenever this movie was advertised on TV. I remember that.
Never! Who's a coward now, Mama?
Candy from a baby.
Oh my God! I did it! We're saved! What's wrong?
Wrong foot.
Mother.
I'm going to state a very controversial opinion in that I think they did Brenda's character wrong for this one.
Maybe.
Because you think about Brenda in like the first 3 scary movies, she's always been multi-dimensional. She's always been like very sexual, very crude, very funny, very loud.
What? It's laundry day.
But in this one, it almost felt like they just made her purely sexual and nothing else. Like everything is always like, yep, did him. Big fat Chinese guy. Or or like always talking about sex and everything, which is perfectly fine, but I just felt that it was missing some of the Brendaisms from like Scary Movie 3 or Scary Movie 1.
The slapstick, but it's more to do with that stupid Dakota Fanning girl who just annoyed me the whole time, and just her scenes and her getting hit. Like you said, Justin, like it was like her like getting thrown or something was kind of hilarious, but like the aftermath of it wasn't. There was like 3 or 4 shots of Cindy getting hit in the face, and I feel like they're trying to do like a Brady Bunch of Marsha getting hit, with the football in the nose, and it just didn't really. Yeah, but it didn't like I didn't laugh when she got hit. It just kind of just was annoying at that point. This movie just feels a little bit like choppy and inconsistent throughout. And even like the scene where, the president's naked and they're all naked in the hall and he bends over and stuff like that. Thing, it was just kind of like, yeah, I don't care.
Good God, these people are all naked. How do you know shame? How do you know decency?
Sir, you're naked too.
I am? I thought this was a wrinkly leather coat.
Sir.
These aren't buttons?
No.
I've been pulling this thing up and down like a zipper.
Mr. President, please.
There goes that duck again.
And I don't know, like this Dr. Phil thing's so random. Like I like Dr. Phil in general, but I don't know. It's a weird thing to throw in there, and Shaq, I couldn't really care less. But it's just hilarious that he can't get a hoop, and even Dr. Phil's like, okay. But yeah.
The aliens killed a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Maybe Judge Judy to replace Dr. Phil.
That would have been much better.
Yeah.
Are you asking me a question?
Agree with BP. The slapstick's just ridiculous. Little girl always getting thrown around like a rag doll. It's just stupid. Also the scene with Charlie Sheen taking the Viagra, that's just it's just silliness at that point.
rattling on, but if you don't vent your emotions, they just well up inside you and burst out. The harder you try, the harder it all gets. Till you just can't shake it off anymore. It's like you're carrying around this enormous burden. Sometimes your problems get so big, you can't wrap your head around them. And then what do you say to yourself?
Jesus!
Yes, you can turn to religion or family and friends, but in the end, you're still in agony. Maybe that's why I want to become a nurse. I'm just so in tune with everyone's emotions. I guess I've always had a knack for being able to
I noticed as well while I was looking at the poster, unless I missed it, King Kong is in the poster, but that's not mentioned or referenced at all in that movie from memory.
Actually, this is an important point because this goes across almost all the Scary Movie posters. Like number 5, they have Ted in the poster, but Ted isn't actually in Scary Movie 5.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Same with Scary Movie 3, as you mentioned, with Queen Latifah dressed up in all the Matrix gear, but she doesn't appear as that character in the final edit of Scary Movie 3.
So yeah, it's just all the silliness of it. The village stuff was kind of as well, I thought. Much like that movie was kind of
Yeah.
Pee-pee and vagina!
I actually forgot about the village.
We'll have to do a Lamb deep dive at some point.
It severely get old in old.
Yeah. But just all the slapstick silliness is probably my biggest issue with it.
Yeah. It feels like this had a lot of missed opportunities, especially in regards to just having more genuine horror films to parody, because I didn't find The Village scary at all. I remember seeing it with my older sister and we were just like, what the fuck is this? This was fucking shit.
Except the wiggity. And then when Brenda's like, you and me, like
Hey! You're not monsters!
Old Lady Henderson and Pig-Faced Joe.
It wasn't even big at the box office, so it's like, they probably were just like, fuck, we can't think of any other horror movies apart from Saw. Let's do The Village. But
Well, we don't call it churning where I come from.
I feel like this is something that most people would know, and I'm pretty certain we mentioned it when we covered the Saw series, but the Saw and Saw 2 sets are so exact that they look like as if they are the same one used in the original films. So the Saw producers actually asked the producers of Scary Movie 4 if they could use the bathroom set from this movie for Saw 3. So most people, I feel, would know that, but if not, meh. Also, interestingly, Anna Faris has stated that she didn't want to do Scary Movie 4, but she couldn't turn down $1 million paycheck. So even she didn't want to do this, which is very surprising to me. But
I don't like when money talks for an actor like this, because then I feel like their effort in the movie is just there for the money. Like, it's not like she genuinely was like on board to do it, but like money talks, so she did it. So it just feels like her heart's not in it completely. That's how I take that. I didn't know that till you read it. Yeah.
No, same. I guess it also explains why she didn't come back for number 5, but there's also other reasons we'll talk about.
Yes, I'm very happy to meet you too.
See, this job perfect for you.
This is the first film in the series to feature Brenda on the movie poster. She was never featured in the first 3, which is very surprising. Like, I've got the Scary Movie poster right in front of me, and Cindy's on it, Buffy's on it, John Abrahams is on it, Ray's on it. No one else. No Brenda. which, why isn't she on the posters for the first three?
We're not gonna blend in dressed like this.
Leslie Nielsen had a body double for his nude scene. And there was also supposed to be a parody of House of Wax in the beginning of this movie. Paris Hilton and Alicia Cuthbert were supposed to make an appearance, but it was cancelled. Other cancelled parodies were Red Eye and Cursed. So we could have had another Wes Craven parody, but instead, nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, Cursed, I remember watching that with you, Coop. Cursed already felt like a parody of a horror movie anyway, so not sure how that would have worked.
And doesn't Paris Hilton appear in like disaster movie and she's walking and something lands on her?
Epic movie.
Epic movie, yeah.
Yeah. Although I think someone plays her being like,
or Lindsay Lohan,
and then plane falls on her or some shit.
And I was supposed to laugh, but I didn't.
Honestly, same. Those movies are fucking terrible. Scary Movie 4 was originally supposed to parody superhero movies, but later the same studio released Superhero Movie as a spin-off, and the studio planned another spin-off under the title Sci-Fi Movie, but dropped it. But I don't know, me and my brother love superhero movies, so we'll watch it all the time.
It's due for a sequel, I reckon, these days, with how fucking flooded the market is with all these goddamn Marvel and DC movies.
Yes.
It's time for another crack, I reckon.
I've got some trivia, Justin.
Yeah.
The Italian censorship visa 99818 was delivered on the 14th of April 2006.
You sounded so serious. I thought you were going to tell some genuine.
Yeah. What? Interesting. There's one down the bottom. There's a scene that is a parody to Brokeback Mountain, which obviously we know, but it said Anna Faris did actually appear in that movie.
I don't remember seeing her in that.
Never saw it.
It's honestly, it's not that good of a movie. People go on and on being like, oh, it made me cry and it won all these Academy Awards. And I'm like, it's just Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger like barely kissing. Like, come on.
I love you.
Given that it's the fourth movie, I'm going to give it 4 out of 10. And I'm not going to justify that with anything, so I'll just move on to BP. What's your score?
I'll give it 6 bad bar fight eyes out of 10.
Nice. And last but not least, Coop.
I'm going to give it 6 piss bars out of 10.
Nice. So averaged out, that's about 6 out of 10, which is higher than I anticipated. I thought, BP, you were going to give it like 3 out of 10 or something.
No, wait for the next one.
Next one.
Time.
The next one, we're not even doing ratings. It doesn't deserve to have a rating. It's just going to be not applicable out of 10.
We invent a whole new system just to deliver. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it?
I feel like this is basically a copycat of Scary Movie 2 in the sense of, while this may not have had a rushed production, it feels like it because a lot of the characters are underutilized. It feels like they've just put everyone into boxes like Cindy, Ditzy, Brenda, Sexy, Leslie Nielsen barely has any screen time in this, and I wish they used him more because I fucking love Leslie Nielsen, especially in the Airplane parody series. Even would have liked to have seen more like Malik and the Kevin Hart character, just because they are funny, but instead we get Dakota Fanning's lookalike and stuff about War of the Worlds. Woo!
Yeah.
So this is something that I don't think I've seen Scary Movie 4 prior to rewatching it a couple of days ago. Maybe last time I saw it was like 5-10 years ago. Like, it's not something I'm clamoring to watch. So, yeah. What about yourself, BP? Do you have any final thoughts?
There's some good bits in it. but yeah, the quality's dropped off dramatically at this point. And I don't know, some things feel like an afterthought. Some of the cameos, the War of the Worlds is a bit of a weird choice to do. Yeah, it just kind of feels a bit like a complete disconnect from like when you compare this to the first one, the completely different films altogether, and you wouldn't even think they're all sort of the part of the same crew or that sort of thing. So it's, yeah, a so-so job and kind of like lowest common denominator at this point in terms of effort and execution. I think a lot of the time, some good little bits in it, but not enough to, convince me that this is a better sequel than, the third at least.
Yeah. I'd even say it's like lower than Scary Movie 2.
I think it's slightly higher.
That's okay. We're allowed to have difference of opinions.
I'm not giving a 10, okay?
Fine. Coop, what about yourself? Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I reckon it's at least worth a watch. Like, if you can put up with the slapstick, there is some good things in there. It's probably the last one with really anything good in it. I mean, Anna Faris is always good, so you've always got that to look forward to. Same with Regina Hall. But I mean, other than that, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I, definitely reckon it's a step up from 2, but step down from 3, and
yeah.
I see. Well, I'll handle that in a minute. But right now, I need to find out what's happening with the duck.
Don't call me no bitch! You ain't shit!
Shut your ass up, Snowho!
Hi, Maria. How's your sister?
Dead. Demon killed her.
Well, that explains the unreturned phone call.
Welcome back, fans and friends, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. Now, as you would have seen, we've covered Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, we're covering Scary Movie 5 today, which is a movie, apparently.
That wasn't even a damn movie.
Look, man, we ain't got time for this shit right now.
These are my overall thoughts. I don't like it. Coop, what do you think about Scary Movie 5?
Well, I finally sat through it today. I did. I got to, and I've tried to watch it a couple of times and given up a few times before. But duty calls. And I sat through it today, and it was not very good. But I do actually have 2 positives if we are even doing a bits we liked part. I do have a couple of things, but not many.
Look, they still throw their shit.
But now they can keep score.
Any long-time listeners will know I copped a lot of criticism for Rest Stop. This makes Rest Stop a 10 out of 10. I know. It's an insult to the franchise. I wouldn't even call this Scary Movie 5. Wasted talent. Piece of crap. It's really bad. It's a 3.5 on IMDb, but viewers and listeners will know we're not going to give it 3.5. Not even the respect of 3.5. That's how I feel.
It's so disappointing too, because there are the movies using this one, like they parody Sinister, Black Swan, Planet of the Apes for some reason, which I still don't understand. But like there's some like movies which you would think would be perfect for a scary movie parody, and they just fuck it up all the time. Like the original Black Swan, for instance, there's so many scenes where they could have chosen to parody it and it still would have been funny and comedic, but here it's just like, oh, okay. There's like the one funny scene where she walks out and she's like wiping all the stuff off the mirror, and then she looks over and the girl's still there writing like slut or something. And it's like, okay, that was funny, but the rest of the Black Swan parodies just weren't. Like And it's supposed to be the bulk parody of this movie.
Well, we'll see how you like it once the swan consumes you!
How do you take a movie like Paranormal Activity, which already is a parody in itself anyway, and make it somehow the most unfunniest, dry shit? Like there's a scene where Simon Rex keeps getting hit with the camera or something, and it's just like, we get it. He got hit like 19 times. It wasn't funny the first time, but just so absolute shit.
No, that's still shit with mustard.
And now on to our favorite parts. Just kidding. I do have some favorite parts with Scary Movie 5, and BP, I know you and I will share like the same favorite parts, so I'll leave that to you.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. There's this one scene that I do laugh at all the time, and it's when they're driving to and from the Evil Dead cabin, but it's just the toy car, like Stuart Little style, and they've just got like the terrible voiceover. And I like it because it's purposely supposed to be bad and making fun of like some CGI or like stock shots where it's like people in a car, but you can tell that they're not actually in the car and it's just like a model car or some bullshit. So I thought that was funny, not laugh out loud funny. But then there's like some other little minor parts, but the funniest part about this movie, and it's not even in the movie, it's in the deleted scenes. So Heather Locklear plays Ashley Tisdale's mother in the movie, but there's this one deleted scene where she sees her at the ballet recital and she just says like rapid fire line after line, and it's all funny.
Mother, what are you doing here?
I heard you got the part.
Yes, I got the part.
So why aren't you happy? Oh my God, of course. Look at you. You're too heavy. You ate lunch, didn't you?
Oh, Mom! I swear to you, I'm starving. Mother, listen. Heather Darcy wants to kill me.
Is that all? It's the ballet. You ruined my career. And you're worried about some over-the-hill has-been? You owe this to Mommy.
But Mother...
Don't blow this for me. I sacrificed everything for you. I raised you, homeschooled you, paid for ballet lessons. I even gave you a kidney.
I didn't need it.
Use it, don't use it, it's yours.
I have to go.
Don't forget, summing up, I love you, you ruined my career, you could be thinner, and your car's a piece of shit. Bye, sweetie.
Well, one of them is unintentionally this scene. It's just so dumb. It's very much like Anna Faris in Scary Movie 4, like coming back into scene. So yeah, it just goes backwards, forwards, different angles. It's like just so dumb. But yeah, that's like the funniest bit. Yeah, props to Ashley Tisdale. And the other scene is just like the, I don't know, like the Black Swan love interest scene with the scissors, the tacos, the train hitting a tunnel, the woman biting the carpet off. That was pretty funny. And I'm pretty sure they're trying to like play I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry, but they've had to like do a sample band just because it's like kind of similar. It sounds very similar to it. And then what we talked about earlier was that scene, kind of a bit like in number 3 with the psychic, but you said, Justin, about like, it's just a baby. Like, why isn't it talking?
The baby hasn't actually said a word.
Why not?
Because he's a baby.
Yeah.
I think that was about it. And then everything else is just shit. So yeah, they were like my 3 favorite scenes. And then probably the credits. Because once I got there, I knew it wasn't going to get any worse. So yeah.
I thought you were about to say the credits because they show all the outtakes.
Oh, and they're so bad.
We're good.
Coop, did you have any favorite parts? You mentioned you had 2 positives for this movie.
Yeah, actually 3. So to start off with, Lindsay Lohan was in this movie, so that's always a positive.
My private life is private.
We've already touched on the that baby line, which is so fucking good. I laughed at that. And also I like the commitment to the joke about that we may need a shark at some point.
Mm.
And then later on in the movie, the evil thing falls into the hot tub on the yacht that he bought. And then gets eaten by the shark. Yeah, I thought that was good.
We need to start smoking this shit. Told you that shark was gonna come in handy.
Otherwise, no other positives.
Yeah. Actually, I do have two more, which I just thought of. So they're not really that funny, but it's when they're at the psychiatrist doctor's office and they're talking about like, oh, Ashley Tisdale would be a great mom. And then he's like, no more wigs, rips off the wig, no more tattoos, and just rips off like the fake tattoos. I was just like, all right, I like how that's the nice segue from her being like the Rockway, what the fuck? That's what it was.
Rockway.
Like the rock chick, if you like, and then is now like the mother / ballet swan person. And then the other part is when it's Ashley Tisdale and Mama fighting on the cliff, and they keep holding up like, oh, brand new phone or an iPad, and then Mama holds up the big flat screen TV.
Yeah.
Like a Price is Right. There you go.
Yeah. Specifically when me and my sister say this to each other all the time. When Ashley Tisdale holds up the iPad, she's like, oh, wow, yeah. I want to tear this film apart. I just feel this was so fucking stupid. There were so many easy wins, like Paranormal Activity, Evil Dead, Black Swan, Sinister, and what the fucking parody we get out of Sinister is Honey Boo Boo, Darling Make Me Hum. It wasn't even funny and it made no fucking sense. And I'm just like, that's the parody you do for Sinister?
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going to do like the tapes or something, but we get nothing. We don't even get Bagul. It's just Honey Boo Boo. Who gives a fuck about Honey Boo Boo?
You don't even get James Root of Slipknot.
Yeah. Like, we could have had so much more. Anything. And yet, that was it. But most of the sequences are unfunny. I'm not going to critique Ashley Tisdale or Erica Ash, I think her name is, because they've just been hired to be the new Cindy and Brenda. And I feel like they do the best they could do as an actress.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you have a script that's so unfunny. So, they try to put their own mannerisms into it, especially like the Black Swan scenes where, Kendra tries to upstage Ashley Tisdale's character by doing stripping.
Oh, food. Huh?
You cannot fool me, not at all. I know how you girls get down. And you like me cause I'm right here, but I know that you get around. Look who's out in the club getting drunk, shaking her up, And Ashley Tisdale's like, but that's not ballet. And so she's like, oh, you want sexy? I can do sexy. Oh, yeah. And like, she's trying, but like, it just doesn't work because of the script issues. So, I can't critique the actors. They've even tried to bring back like Molly Shannon, who is a very like well-regarded comedic actress. She's done like Superstar. She was in Saturday Night Live. But, while she was funny in this, it just felt like, there was something missing even from her. So that's where my issues are at.
You might just as well have picked the janitor!
Me? I don't know what happened with this movie. I don't know if it was rushed. It just feels like 50,000 drafts in one movie. It's horrible. Really hard to engage. I was on my phone pretty much the whole time.
All right, let's find out where this cabin is. Ugh.
They could have done Paranormal Activity really well, and they just decided, I feel like they did a lazy effort, and what they ended up doing was just using the whole, set up camera to kind of use it as filming for the series, like for the film, I should say. So like you have the outside shot of like the housemaid on the lawnmower chasing down the guy, and just like filling time that way. So they just didn't want to even like go and film anything. Even the thing with the baby, when she brings the baby home and it hits the door, I don't know it's a doll. And like, it just, yeah, it didn't work. Everything about this movie is really bad. Ashley Tisdale does, tries to do a good job where she can. And I feel bad that she's like associated with this baggage of a film. Yeah, it's an insult to the franchise. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what went wrong with it. It's just a whole lot of, pacing issues and just, it's not funny. It's just crap.
A shit pie?
Thanks, but
I knew from the moment there was a fucking Benny Hill theme and fucking sex happening with bloody clowns and animals and Charlie Sheen, I knew it was going to be shit, this movie. And a lot of that, this movie was those fucking video camera scenes from around the house of people doing dumb shit. I mean, it was so fucking bottom of the barrel rap.
Yeah.
The scene with the fucking baby and that's going in the crowd, and I mean, it's just utter fucking garbage crap at this point. So yeah, as BP said, almost every minute of this movie is crap, and it's not worth a watch at all. It's a shame because there's so much potential for horror parody out there, and for something like this that already had name value and support by heaps of people, for this to just phone it in like this is just such a shame.
Charlie, I'm scared.
I hated this movie. Thanks for putting me through it, because I never would have done it on my own terms, because each time I've tried, I'm like, this is just crap. And like, I thought I'm sure we all thought that by the time that it got to Scary Movie 4, that the slapstick aspect of shit was getting out of hand, but this is just almost completely reliant on that. It was like watching Funniest Home Videos, but worse. And yeah, when it got to you guys keep talking about the outtakes. It got to the credits and I went, oh, thank God. And then I saw that there was still heaps of time. I skipped ahead a bit, saw there was an outtake and went, no. And I just turned it off. So I didn't even watch the outtakes. I didn't think it was worth my time at all.
How do we know who's a witch?
Do they have a broom? Do they have a pointy nose?
The outtakes weren't even funny. It wasn't enough to justify it. Unless it's like Toy Story level outtakes. Like, you know how Pixar used to do the fake outtakes?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, Mrs. Potato Head trying to fit in like blue Play-Doh in Mr. Potato Head. Like, unless it's that level of funny, I don't want to see it. Because I know it's just going to be shit.
I'm packing you an extra pair of shoes and your angry eyes, just in case. And if you get hungry, here's some cheese puffs and a key. I don't know what it's for, but you never know. And a golf ball, if you have time for golf. And a plastic steak. And a rubber ducky. And a yo-yo. And crayons, in case you get bored. And some blue Play-Doh.
Again, another very troubled production like Scary Movie 2, but essentially they reshot most of this movie 2 months before its release date. I don't know how the fuck they managed to edit this all, especially with like audio production, video production, approvals required for like stock footage and everything. But you can tell the laziness with this because there was a change in directors. So let me go back to the Wikipedia so I can actually get the directors' names right.
Yeah, I've heard it's a bit of a Saw 7 kind of thing, isn't it? With the director getting pulled. Yeah.
Yeah.
All over again.
Like, it's absolutely crazy. So essentially what happened was Malcolm D. Lee came on to direct this movie, but then there were reshoots required, but Malcolm was starting production for The Best Man Holiday. I've never seen that movie, don't know what it's about. So David Zucker, who did Scary Movie 3 and 4, he was brought on board to handle the additional filming. And the additional filming included scenes like Evil Dead, scenes like the Mama character. Before that, it was just supposed to be a Paranormal Activity monster, because even in the poster, like you've got Cooper the Zoom background, it's not necessarily Mother. That's just the Paranormal Activity monster, if you like. It wasn't even given a name. And there's scenes like, for instance, like in the opening scene with Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen, the door opens and you see Mama go past, but it's edited so badly, you can tell that they've just had to like superimpose that scene on top. A glaring, obviously, shithouse error is when they're in the ballet studio when Molly Shannon's character is like, no, I'm the Swan Queen, watch me. And even like the fake brick wall, you can tell that because it's too shiny, that when it falls on her and you see like the mama arm disappear, like it's just so shit. Like I'm fucking shithouse at visual effects myself, but I could do better than that. And it's like, how did this $1 million production like just fuck up so bad? And look, I love when a movie or a TV show brings in celebrities to like try and boost it, but I felt like this only needed Lindsay Lohan and that was it. But they lied to her about the production of this movie as well. So they thought she was just going to be brought in, and the only pre-approved joke was about the ankle tracking bracelet, because she's always made fun of that her entire life. But they never told her that when she points at the TV, it would be about her court appearance date joke.
Yeah.
They said it was going to be something else, like Lindsay Lohan discovered getting plastic surgery or something. So they lied to her about that, which is very shitty behavior from the filmmaker's part. Even if it was something like not as, I guess, personal to her, it could have worked.
But it's not funny. Like I watched it.
Yeah.
And thought, is that meant to make me laugh? I just think like, okay, she went to jail, but like, I don't understand the point of like having her on the TV. Was that people meant to laugh at that point? Like, it's not a hilarious thing. It's not like it'd be different if she fell over and it was like iconic. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
know, it's just strange.
Yeah.
There were also extended parts with the 50 Shades of Grey parody, where it's quite a lengthy scene that goes for like 3 minutes more than what's in the final edit. And there's also a post-credit scene, which I've never watched.
I just had the most bizarro dream. Demons, apes, a ballet.
You have a very active subconscious.
Anyway, the idea took hold. Lindsay Lohan's coming over to spend the night with you.
Awesome.
You were driving.
Funny thing is, it wasn't screened for critics in advance, which is always a bad thing. And it says director Malcolm D. Lee was very critical of the movie. He said, it was just a bad movie. Believe me, don't bother going to see that movie or renting it or anything. It's not worth your time.
And that was quite recent too.
2018 was apparently, he said that, yeah. That's really bad when the director's already, what else did he say?
Designed it.
Cry me a river.
There's a few conflicting reports. So Anna Faris didn't return for this one due to her pregnancy. Other cast members like Regina Hall, aka Brenda, Kevin Hart and Anthony Anderson, they were offered roles but opted not to return. But Anna Faris, actually, this is a clip I posted on the TikTok account. She claims that she was never asked to come back because she was deemed too old. But then she also posted on Twitter like 11 years ago, being like, can we get Scary Movie 5 trending? And it trended. And then someone said, oh, will you come back? And she said, yes, I'm happy to come back. But then, like, I don't know. I never understand. Like, did she actually want to come back or not? Because her and Regina Hall have said in the couple of months ago, say they'll come on board for Scary Movie 6, but they want to be paid well for it. So I don't know, maybe money's the issue with it, or I don't know.
The whole kind of gathering of this film feels very like a Zoom meeting that they kind of like run quite a few people and be like, hey.
Yeah.
And someone's like, yeah, no worries. Okay. Because with a reshoot, just because I'm a bit stupid in this sense, is a reshoot essentially just a reshooting of the scene as it was? Or does a reshoot mean that they're changing the actual scene was supposedly filmed?
It can mean both, but usually it means they've done a test screening and the audience doesn't like a particular scene, or they've given feedback to say, oh, we thought it was funny up until this part. So they might keep some of the original, but
I wonder what the reshoot was.
Apparently it was a lot of scenes. So it shows with how rushed everything feels in the final edit and just how unfunny it is. Like, they didn't take the time to actually work on the comedic aspect. I say that like as if I'm a professional comedian, but
And one of the most interesting trivia I found was Lindsay Lohan refused to kiss Charlie Sheen during filming due to his somewhat erratic behavior. A body double was used instead.
I don't even remember them kissing.
Don't blame her at all, eh?
Yeah. There is a scene where they're doing the tricks.
What he had at the time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And there's a scene when they're doing the whole Benny Hill thing. You can clearly see in that scene the guy is not Charlie Sheen, and they don't even like mask to like edit it so it looks like Charlie Sheen. You can clearly tell it's just a young dude doing the splits and whatever.
Yeah. It's not that flexible.
No. Even like I was like, Lindsay Lohan's not going to be doing these splits, surely.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans, who originally created the Scary Movie franchise alongside Keenan Ivory, who directed the first two, and Sean Wayans said in an interview that the studio actually asked the Wayans brothers to come back for Scary Movie 5, but they all declined, citing that they wanted to focus on A Haunted House, which performed so well at the box office that spawned the sequel, A Haunted House 2, released 1 year afterwards. And as I said in one of the previous episodes, I hated those movies. I was really looking forward to it because I loved White Chicks. I loved Scary Movie 1, maybe not number 2. And so I was like, oh, maybe this will be a fresh take. And they parody Sinister mostly for A Haunted House 1. I haven't seen A Haunted House 2, so I don't know what it makes fun of, but I was just like, ugh, this was so boring and shit. It reminded me of Little Man. I don't know if either of you have seen that.
That was not a good movie.
It's just cringe, like long scenes that don't pay off, whereas like White Chicks is boring as fuck until you get like 35 minutes in, then it's absolutely funny. But it's almost funny because of everyone else that's in the movie. Like the three girls that are like following them around, or like the dance sequence in White Chicks. Like, it's just got so many funny parts. Like Terry Crews singing 1,000 Miles. But yeah, it's like a curse with the Wayans brothers, I feel.
And I think this movie is just like, you can have cameos. Yes, that's great, but you got to make sure you utilize them well. And then in this movie has a lot of just, players themselves, and they don't know what to do with them.
You better check that shit.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Even Usher is in this movie.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Why the fuck is Usher in Scary Movie 5?
Me? Ira, please, not now. What?
And like the Snoop Dogg stuff, it's just really lame. And Mac Miller's in it, and Tyler Posey, whatever his name is, he's in it.
Like, even that sequence with Evil Dead, and they keep going back into Deadites and coming back to life. Like, it was funny.
It was insufferable.
Like, I remember watching it 10 years ago, and I hadn't seen Evil Dead at that time. And I was like, there's like one throwaway line, which I thought was funny, but the rest I'm just like, is this what Evil Dead's about? And then when I actually got around to watching it, I was like, this wasn't a good parody. Like, I don't understand it. Ugh.
I didn't know this. This was the only movie in the Scary Movie series not to be filmed in Vancouver.
They got in Mexico. Saw X.
What? David Zucker directed the additional shoots/reshoots from January to February 2013. The main actress, Ashley Tisdale, said in several interviews that the material from the reshoots and ADR sessions, which is audio, dialogue, something, made about 60% of the final edit, and that the director didn't have anything to do with the editing since he was already engaged in doing The Best Man Holiday by the time they did them. Lee didn't even show up to the Scary Movie 5 premiere. So the original director doesn't even show up to the premiere. That's how you know that it's shit.
It's just a train wreck in the making, isn't it?
So bad. Because like I can't find it in any of the trivia here, but I know that there was a lot of things to say that like Black Swan was going to be one of the main parodies. Mama wasn't even part of it. Evil Dead wasn't part of it. And it was just going to be like a Paranormal Activity / Black Swan hybrid. So
there was trivia I read the other day, and it said that Evil Dead came out a week after this release, and 50 Shades is also shown in the film, which wasn't out yet. So they kind of went ahead and did 2 films, especially 50 Shades, because you wouldn't know what it was going to be like until the first one came out. But they went ahead and did something for it, which is quite interesting. They didn't kind of think to do something else that was out.
Yeah. I think 50 Shades came out in 2015 from memory.
So I think it was in like the early stages, or the book was obviously out and people reading it. So they probably, So it's just interesting they've kind of gone ahead and decided to parody a film. Yeah, that's not out yet. But anyway.
God. The movie was originally supposed to parody Scream 4, but the studio dropped the idea when Scream 4 didn't perform as well as expected at the box office. I mean, they already did that in Scary Movie 1. How are they going to parody it again?
Does that mean that the quality would look really like watery and cloudy?
Yeah, like the same film structure.
What was that meme? It's like I am like Scream 4 quality right now or something. Like that's how I feel. It's just like the glazed over look.
It is all over the internet, Dewey.
It is?
Yes, the whole world knows about it before me.
Even though a majority of scenes were deleted from the movie, the DVD and Blu-ray only included 8 of the deleted scenes. The first trailer showed snippets of other deleted scenes that weren't included. Audiences were curious if there was an original cut without the reshoots, but it has never been released. And honestly, probably never will. Like, it only made 78 million at the box office. I doubt anyone's like clamoring to get like the original cut like they do with like Justice League and the Zack Snyder cut or whatever it's called.
This tube goes in your mouth, and the other one goes in your rectum.
Okay, it's in.
Hang on. I'm sorry. That one goes in your mouth, and the other one goes in your rectum.
What time is it?
Ballet time.
A psychic told me a witch is out to get me.
There's always some ballerina who won't give up the spotlight.
I found security footage that the old owners left behind. This might have some answers.
I've come back from worse than this.
There were still audio replacement sessions taking place in March and April. So this came out April 21 or April 23, but they were still doing audio in April. Usually the entire movie is like completely finished at least 3 to 6 months before release, because they got to get translations, captions, give people enough time to market the movie and everything. So it just feels like such a fucking like absolute cataclysmic mess to try and get this done. I'm gonna give this 10. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna give it 0.5 out of 10. Doesn't have any good quality with its cinematography. Don't like the color grading either. I have to sneak that in. I feel bad for the cast in this, because I can tell they're trying their hardest, but you can polish a turd, but it's still a piece of shit, no matter how shiny it is. So it has some little funny parts, but it's not enough to justify 1 out of 10. So I'm just going to give it 0.5, which even then I feel like is too much of a high rating for this.
Yeah.
BP, what score do you give this?
I'll give it, well, we gave April Fool's Day. I'm pretty sure we all gave it 0. Or I don't know about that. Yeah. So I'm going to give it 0.5 as well. No, actually, let's go 0.4. Let's turn it up a bit. I'm changing decibels. So 0.4. 0.4 walks back and forth out of 10.
Can you imagine if this was like a paper or a cinema magazine or something, and people are like, oh, 5 stars, and then it's you in the corner being like 0.4 balls out of 10.
Yeah, 0.4. I'm sticking firm on that.
Nice. And last but not least, Coop, what score do you give this movie?
I give it minus 86 minutes of my life I'll never get back out of 10.
I think the average for that is minus 0.4 minutes I'll never get back out of my life out of 10.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure how that converts, but we'll work it out.
It's actually the perfect analogy for this movie. Yeah. And like, I don't think this is like a generational thing either, because my older sister and I, we've watched all the scary movies, same as my younger brother, my 12-year-old sister. My 12-year-old sister was like, I didn't laugh once during Scary Movie 5. And I was like, okay, it's not just me then, thank God. Because, like, you know, I mentioned in one of the other episodes talking about how Gen Z / the younger generation, they're like, Scary Movie isn't even funny, it's racist, or Scary Movie 3 is just dumb. All they do is talk about boobs. And it's like, yeah, it can still be funny. But, yeah. I wish they didn't make this movie, and I feel so fucking stupid because I remember back in the day on Facebook, when Facebook was a thing, being like, so excited to watch Scary Movie 5. I've been waiting 7 years to watch it, and then watching it and being like, I don't know who I am anymore. Like, why was I so excited to watch this movie? Like, the trailer wasn't even funny anyway, but I think I was just delusional like I am all the time anyway. But yeah, I do not recommend this movie.
Enough!
If you have trouble falling asleep and you need a movie to fall asleep to, this would be the one. It's pretty bad, pretty horrible. I think it's one of the worst. Actually, I think Rest Stop was one of our worst, but I think this is topping Rest Stop for our series. So yeah, it's a new low. I'm sure there's more to come, but horrible. Waste of decent talent. Just the scheduling and production's just all choppy. Nothing's really funny. It's a waste of time. It's an insult to the franchise. I wouldn't even watch it. If anyone wants to watch it, don't waste your time.
This is getting out of hand. You're scaring everybody.
Probably should never have happened. Instead of making this movie, they should have not. That would have been much better. I think, as I mentioned before, it's just such a shame. I actually do hope that there will be a Scary Movie 6, but I hope that it's the right people involved and that they take the time to tighten it up and make it an enjoyable movie experience. And we know that we can get that from this franchise, but it sure as fuck didn't happen this time round with Scary Movie 5. It's a very bad movie. Like you, I would not recommend it to anybody to watch. Don't waste your time on it. It's simply not worth it.
You're not gonna jump, are you? I hadn't thought about that. Thank you.
You haven't aged a day. You've aged like 1,000,000 days. That's this many. Why?
Yeah, your fingers smell like genitals.
Okay. We back.
Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. You moved.
Ghostface eliminated. Welcome back, fans and friends, to the Complete Guide to Horror Movies podcast. Today, we are finally reviewing the much-anticipated, long-awaited Scary Movie 6, or Scary Movie brackets 2026, which follows Cindy and Brenda and also other returning mainstays from the original two films. Like we've got Greg, we've got Ray and Shorty, Brenda and Cindy, like I already mentioned, and we also have the return of Officer Doofy and Sherry O'Terry, who plays Gail Hailstorm, or Gail Swallows if you like, as they battle a new ghost face. And there's some new characters. We're introduced to Cindy's daughter. Apparently she had a daughter between these movies. Why not? And this has a very divided critical reception. I've seen a huge ton of negative reviews. I've also seen some positive reviews that are more aligned with, I guess, people like myself. And then I've also seen other people say that it's a disappointing return, and we'll get into all the different criticisms because I think this is going to be a very divisive movie, regardless if you love Scary Movie or if you hate it. So, yeah, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I was a little disappointed. I did laugh a lot during this movie, but I also have some huge amounts of criticism for just how generally unfunny this movie was. I don't think it was super abysmal and, absolutely terrible at everything like some critics are saying. But I initially gave this 3 stars on Letterboxd. I still give it that because I will probably rewatch this, but this is definitely worse and I guess not as funny compared to Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I do think it is better than 5. It's like battling number 5 for that, I guess, 5th last place spot. And yeah, that's all I'll say. I'll save my favorite parts, least favorite parts for later. Now, BP, I'll start with you. What did you think of Scary Movie 6?
Overall, I'm on the consensus. I think we'll all agree that this is better than 5, at least. But I'm struggling to I'm struggling if it's actually better than 4. And from our recent Scary Movie reviews, 4 was sort of deemed the second lowest at that point, which is a bit concerning. I'm like you, Justin. I've seen all the trailers, pretty much every teaser. There were some really good things in this. There was a couple of really good cameos. There's a lot of throwbacks, which I really like. I do think overall it probably relies too much on nostalgia, which I think does affect this movie, 25 years later. And there's also quite a lot of sort of bad points in this movie as well. And yeah, it is interesting. I thought driving over here today to do this, it's going to be very divisive. I'm very curious how we all sort of think and pick apart this film. But on the consensus, it's definitely better than 5. But that's not really saying much when there's, 4 other films in the franchise as well.
Yeah, that's more than fair. I will say the marketing for this movie has been very confusing because if they just tapped into the nostalgia bait where it's, hey, remember these characters you've loved for the past 25, 26 years? Well, they're back in this new movie. That's all they needed to really bring people in. They could have also spotlighted the fact that this is, again, a parody of Scream, which, Scream 7 only came out a couple of months ago. So there's still that relevant IP to have that relevance. Yep. But then they went this weird tangent where it was, don't come if you're offended. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm waiting for the offensive jokes. Where are they? Like, that was so lame and everything. Like, it's not offensive. It's just like, oh, okay, the crazy person next door said something like weirdly transphobic, homophobic, whatever. Like, it's not offensive. It's just kind of sad. But anyway, before I do trail on, Coop, what are your overall thoughts on Scary Movie 6?
I definitely agree that it's better than 5, but as BP said, that's not hard. The shit I took this morning was better than Scary Movie 5. But look, I did enjoy it. I had a lot of issues with it. We mentioned the nostalgia. It was really starting to piss me off at about the halfway point. I felt like 50% of the scripts was like callbacks to the first movie, and I was like, can you stop kissing your own ass now? We get it. The first Scary Movie is fantastic. Like, we don't need to repeat like half the dialogue from the first movie for us to understand that. And I remember having a point where I was like, oh, what's next? Are they going to do the what's up bit? And like, they literally did that in that fucking stream scene. I'm like, come on. Like, you've got all this, it's been 25 years since you guys have done a scary movie. There's so many horror movies, and they did cram a lot of references into this. But like, if they had maybe done one or two nods to like an old line or something like that, I would have been okay with it. But it almost felt like an ad for the Wayans brothers at a certain point. We'll get to the white chicks cameo, which I did enjoy, but like by that point I'd heard so many references to the first one. I was just like, you guys are just like advertising your own shit at this point. It's getting really grating to me. It was shot really well. I feel like they spent more time and money on making this look good than they spent on writing the jokes. And I think that that's a big problem. So it was really polished and good, but like some of the jokes, and there was just something grating about how everything was acted. I don't know if it was just because it was like sort of high budget and everything was polished, but like it just didn't have the delivery of the lines, and the jokes just felt there was something off about it, that they didn't quite hit the way that those older movies did. I mean, again, it's been 20 years since Scary Movie 4. And obviously filmmaking's come a long way since then, and the way that we perceive movies has changed. But there was just, there didn't seem to be much continuity to the way that the actors were sort of presenting the jokes. And then like, I don't know, it was like, here's the line, boom, there's the line. There was like no nuance to the performance. But there was some jokes in there that I enjoyed. Justin, you mentioned the marketing of like, oh, you know, no holds barred, bloody, it's going to be super offensive and everything like that. And I was waiting for something like that. And I think the closest thing that we got to that was that conversation on the train, of that back and forth, just after bloody Megan comes in. And I thought that was about it. And the, you know, the electric charging woke station. I mean, that was about it. It was pretty like
woke what?
It was pretty basic. Like, oh, everything's woke now. Like they could have gone, you know, so much harder. And it just really, it wasn't offensive at all. So like I was bracing for that, and it just never really. That never really happened. So like I don't know why they were sort of using that as the marketing. But yeah, there was some jokes in there that I enjoyed, but and I went in with pretty low expectations, because again, it's been 25 years. They're sort of throwing back to and trying to tap into something that was sort of a you know, once in time kind of, I don't know exactly how to say it, but you know, a time in the past kind of thing. Could they sort of bring that into the present? And I think in some cases they did that. Like I said, they crammed a lot of references in there, but I don't necessarily think all the jokes quite hit quite the same way as the first four scary movies. Because I remember seeing Scary Movie 4. I saw it with Justin in the cinema. I think it was me, you, and Beth from memory. And we were cackling the entire time. Like through this movie, I think I chuckled, and I think I had like one or two moments where I went actually hard. You know, so yeah, it just doesn't quite hit the same. That might just be the fact that I'm getting older, maybe, but it just, I can still watch those older movies and still laugh. Maybe that's just the nostalgia, I don't know. But it just didn't quite hit the way that I think everybody was kind of hoping it would. So yeah.
Yeah. Just one joke that you mentioned that I personally didn't understand, which was the woke Watts one. Like, is that supposed to be a play on? Is there another charging station or something called like Loke Watts or something? Like, I just didn't get it. I saw it and I was like, oh, the word woke, okay. But
I took it as just like EV drivers being just like woke, like conforming to like green and electric cars. That's how I took it.
Oh,
like,
is that it?
Buying an electric car, you're a bit of like a numpty or like a, I don't know, woke green or whatever you want to say. That's how I took it.
I was so confused because I thought it was supposed to be like making fun of Elon Musk, and then I'm like, but Elon Musk hates woke. Like, I was confused by that.
It's a hard joke to make in 2026, given you know. But I guess there's other EV brands and stuff out there and other manufacturers. So I don't know.
But that's the whole thing with this movie, though, is that there were some, like, to me, the funniest jokes were the ones that were like very quick and didn't necessarily have a lot of focus on them. Like the Ray scene where he's at the church and it's parodying the scene in Sinners. It could have been really funny if they actually just shortened it. It didn't need to go on for what felt like 15 minutes of just him pretending to suck dick and everything. It's like, we get it. We know this is Ray. We love Ray, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then the funniest joke about Ray is when they make fun of Get Out, where it's the guy running towards, who was it? Shorty.
Yeah.
And then you see Ray running after the guy, and it's clear that he's like chasing him. And I was like, that's actually funny, but that was one of the rare jokes where you see it for a split second, and then they move on to the next joke in the movie. And I mean, all the other scary movies have that thing where if there's a joke every 10 seconds, etc. But I do feel like the first 4 movies, I was constantly laughing. Here with Scary Movie 6, I didn't laugh anywhere near as much. I also felt that, and there's a lot of parallels to the other Scary Movie films where this one, they do the parody of K-pop Demon Hunters. And I've never seen K-pop Demon Hunters. I know that song there, we're going up. But I was just like, fuck me dead. There is way too much Shorty in this movie. I didn't need him to be a main character. And he's the least funny out of everyone. So it was just like, we get it. Shorty's a stoner. We get it. Shorty loves weed. And then the whole focus was on Shorty when it should have been on Cindy and Brenda. That's who we pay to see. I don't give a fuck about the Wayans brothers. Like, I'm glad they got their franchise back. I'm glad they have another chance to have a creative vision and execute it. But I guarantee 98% of people are there to watch Cindy and Brenda, not Ray and Shorty, not Officer Doofy. It's like those characters were the weird focus of the movie, so that pissed me off. But now I do want to talk about some funny parts, and I'm also going to critique some of these funny parts because that's what this podcast is all about. So the opening scene with Tiana Taylor, I actually genuinely enjoyed it because I love Tiana Taylor. I'm a big Tiana Taylor fan, and I didn't expect her to be in this movie. And then the whole, making fun of Scream 6's opening scene, and then it's them making fun of her for not winning the Oscar. I liked that tongue-in-cheek, like self-referential, very modern, like comedy they were going for. And then the fact that it was also a parody of Scream 4's opening scene, where it's the constant fake out with the movie trailer, I was like, oh, that's different. But then when it swapped to Tuesday at Ghostface, I didn't really care for it. I thought it was funny how Ghostface was like, oh, I didn't expect you to answer the door so quick. I was like, yeah. But like, it's funny, but it's not like, ha ha ha, that's funny. Like, it's just like, oh, I breathed through my nose a bit more when that happened. But then after the title sequence, I wish they did this slightly differently. The Final Destination theme park, I laughed so much at that. But I wish they didn't have it could have just been Final Destination theme park. They didn't need the part that said where everyone dies. It's like, yeah, we know. Like, why the fuck are these jokes they're trying so hard to over-explain themselves and justify their presence in the film, and they didn't need that. Like, it could have just been, hey, this is what's happening in the background, and it's funny because it keeps us interested. And then they brought back that kid that gets hit by the piano in Bloodlines, but it was just like, what was he there for? Like, that's not even a parody. They're just showing what happened to that kid in Bloodlines. Like, I wanted something else to happen to him, but yeah. The other scene, which I still quote this to Emil all the time, where they're making fun of Scream 5, where the camera zooms out and it's all diagonal, and Cindy's daughter's on the phone, she's like, I can't fucking hear you because the camera's so fucking far away. I burst out laughing at that scene. That was so fucking stupid and funny.
That was good.
And I'm like, why weren't there more scenes like that? Like, that was funny. Yeah. And like everyone in the cinema laughed. And then like, I do love Cindy and Brenda, but just the final favorite scene of mine, then I'll actually let you two speak, I promise, is when Cindy and Brenda are outside the house and they're parodying Scream 5, where Neve Campbell's like, what do you think? And then Gail says something like, nah, it's a trap. And Cindy goes, what do you think? And Brenda's like, I don't know. I think Drake won that battle. Like, it was so stupid. But it's also highly relevant to today. And I mean, maybe in 20 years' time, when, people go and rewatch this, they might be like, who the fuck is Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Like, why are they talking about that? But in the same way, we might go back and watch Scary Movie and be like, who's Puff Daddy? Who's Jadakiss? Like, who are these rappers they're talking about, So I like that they kept that Brenda character, like, the same. But those were the ones that got, like, the biggest laughs out of me. BP, what about yourself?
Yeah, I really loved the opening. Thought it was, if not better than the Scream 6 opening. That's something I'll touch on later. Is as Coop said as well, the directing this was really good, and people were very worried because this is the same guy that's done A Haunted House, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think it was fine. So one of my favorite lines was obviously Ma, as in Brenda, when she's like, I just found this at the back. It doesn't even work. And I knew where this was going to like go. And then like the shooting wasn't funny. That line was funny because I've been watching Ma this week because of how fucking dumb it is. But it's so quotable in some of those bits.
Yeah.
The other one that I actually laughed really hard at, I laughed at the Cynthia thing from Wicked when he was like,
Yeah, that was
like it was so dumb, but I laughed. The one that I'm surprised you didn't bring up, Justin, was when they're like, "Welcome to Act 3," and then they're like, What's going on here?
What does that mean?"
And it was just so like, that's the Scary Movie that I love. That just like, what are they doing here? Like, yeah. When the guy in your poster, Justin, the one up the back in the blue, when he's eating out the girl, and he's doing the twisty thing, and then there was a voice that was like, now finish her or something, and I cracked up laughing at that. The baby dick photo of the cop, when he's going through the thing, I laughed at that. What else did I had? Obviously the White Chicks cameo, that was hilarious. And then the post-credit scene, which Coop you didn't see, but it did feature Old Mate with the Fingers, and then he was with, who was he with? Justin, the news reporter. And then he was like, my germs. So, yeah, so he did that. That was
right. What do you call it? I admit I haven't seen Long Legs, but he gives her like a birthday cake or something, and then
he sticks his fingers in or something and says my germs. And then I think that scene there in my one where they're throwing the lettuce. Brenda said some things I couldn't quote her though, but it was hilarious because they're throwing lettuce, and she's actually like in her character for once in this movie, which we'll talk about. That she sort of comes in and out of her character, which is frustrating because I wanted to see more Brenda from like 1, 2, 3, 4 come through, and I didn't get that. But they were sort of like the funny scenes that I had so far. Yeah. But like I was living for the Ma stuff, and I love when the daughter, when the friend comes out saying, "You're looking very Octavia Spencer" or something. She's like, "Oh, I'll bring you over for like a shit pie." Yeah.
I love Brenda so much. Coop, what about yourself? Do you have any particular favorite parts of Scary Movie 6?
So I started off liking the opening. I thought it was. I mean, I guess they'd kind of done it anyway, but once it got to like the Tuesday stuff and then like the quote unquote real opening, I thought that was weaker than sort of where it started. So that was kind of like, okay, all right, let's see how we go. The scene out front of Final Destination theme park was really good. I love how they were taking the piss out of that dialogue with the boner pills, because that still is some of the worst dialogue I've ever sat through in my fucking life. It's your boner pills. So I pissed myself laughing at that. Had a good laugh about, Ghostface is back. Ghostface Killer. No, not the rapper Ghostface Killer. I lost it at that. The stuff with the redacted Epstein files coming out of the back was really good. I know I shit on the fact that like there was so much self-referential stuff in this. I did get a kick out of the White Chicks in the mirror thing. And then there was the dialogue that followed it, and then that annoyed me. But they could have just left it as, it's haha. The Cynthia Erivo Wicked thing was really good. I liked the shack cameo as well. I'm the same
Yes.
size as Kevin Hart on my knees. I got a kick out of that, and then making fun of the fact that he didn't want to do it. So that was really good. Yeah, the scene where they're making fun of sinners in your background, BP, where they're like, yeah, that was quite a funny scene. It's like, oh, have you changed your mind? No, fuck no, go away. Like, keep watching it. Like, I thought that was, I got a good kick out of that. I hadn't seen K-pop Demon Hunters either. That got a massive reaction out of the cinema that I was in. That was probably the biggest reaction of the entire movie. I am aware of it, so I knew what it was referencing. But I was like, yeah, all right, cool. I get it. You don't need to do the whole fucking literal
10 minutes of it.
Song and dance about it. The get out scene, of course, running, chasing after Shorty was hilarious. I wanted to see more Sherry O'Terry in this. There wasn't enough. There really wasn't enough. She's so good.
Yeah.
But I'm at least glad that they brought her back, and she did get to be in the stuff scene, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Even though, again, it sort of bounced off all the self-referential shit, but I did thought it was like a pretty strong ending as well. The way that it ended, the way that it was like Scream 7 started with burning the house down and all that. It was kind of like a cool way to finish it off.
Yeah.
I liked the fake Elvis biopic trailer as well. I thought that was really good. The nod to Smile was quite funny as well. That joke, the ongoing joke about the love interest was really good. Like, obviously it's the love interest and he's just acting suspicious throughout the entire movie. I thought that was fantastic, and I pissed myself at the joke of like, oh, I'm doing an OJ Simpson cosplay for Halloween. It's like, but those gloves fit. So I fucking lost it at that line. So yeah, there was a lot of jokes in there that I did enjoy. Yeah, Megan on the train, that was funny as well. But yeah, there was some good stuff in there. It was just at some points, some of the jokes didn't hit, but there was some good stuff in there that I really did appreciate. Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up just very quickly is the use of political humor, because pardon me, because if you think about the trailers where it's like, don't come if you're offended, and there's all these interviews the Wayans brothers did about how they don't want Gen Z to come because they think they'll be too offended by the movie and everything. If you actually think about all the jokes in this movie, I think it's definitely more left-wing, like, based compared to right-wing.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's that scene where they say that Officer Doofy got pardoned for the insurrection, and there's the photo of him with the, what do you call it, that idiot that stormed the Capitol and all that. I thought that was, like, fucking hilarious. But then the transgender character, Jess, who is a parody of Wes from Scream 5, it was, like, very unexpectedly empowering. And why I say that is because, like, at first they, like, misgender her and everything, and then it's the dad being like, I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to it. And then it's like, I'll show you I'm a real man. So he punches Greg, and it's like, it's like saying that, like, trans men are men. And then they're saying when he's in the car and Ghostface is like, I'm about to kill your daughter or whatever, and he's like, he's my son.
Yeah.
I think he says she's my son. Yeah. And then it's like unexpectedly, like, affirming. So I think a lot of people who are expecting, Daily Wire style humor might actually be pissed off by this. They'll be like, they're all making fun of Trump. They said transgender people are real. Like, I've actually seen a few reviews on Reddit by people like that who felt they were misled by the marketing, because they wanted something where it's like, Ben Shapiro makes fun of woke or whatever. But I also really liked the gags when it came to Jess, the transgender character, because you see him at school and then he's at home before he gets killed by Ghostface, but he's got, like, the unexpected amount of facial hair. Yeah. And it's like, how did that happen in one day? Come on. Like, it's obviously an exaggeration, but it got a chuckle out of me. And then you got, like, the weird cringe jokes where it's like, you're about to identify as dead. And it's like, it's not humor for me. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just personally thought it was, like, really unfunny and very dated, because the Wayans brothers have done everything else about this movie, like bringing in Kai Cenat and the streaming aspect and making fun of modern horror films. But then there's still elements of like 2012, 2016 Facebook mum humor that's like, really? Like, that's what we're going for in some parts, but that's what it is.
The thing that gets me, particularly with that scene, and as we mentioned, the marketing of like, oh, it's so offensive. And I even saw some comments of like, oh yeah, like, oh, I bet the lefties hate this, and it's like, I was hell like looking for the offensive stuff throughout this, particularly in that scene. It was very surface level, like what a right wing person thinks a lefty is offended by.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, I bet you think that's offensive. This is just like, no, but like, what's the joke? Like, if you're gonna offend me, give it a red hot crack. Like, come on, like that was nothing. Take off the kiddie gloves, mate. Like, anyway. So that I thought that was funny, and it seems that like the response has been either one way or the other. It's either just like people being like, oh yeah, it was, so offensive, did this, that, and the other, I loved it, or it was like, and again, not offensive, like, God, I wish it was. I wish I had something to be angry about. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm angry that I don't have something like more to laugh at. Or it's the other side of like, I saw a few people saying like, oh, it was just like a bunch of like Family Guy cutaways, and I kind of understand where they're coming from with that as well, because there was sort of a bit of that vibe, like you mentioned, Justin, the scene where they're making fun of sinners of like, I ain't gay no more, and like I laugh, like as you said, that scene went way too long. Like I laughed and I was like, oh, they're referencing that video from that like evangelist church of that guy saying that he's no longer gay anymore. But then it went on for like 5 minutes, and
and it was and that scene as well had like, I'm coming, you're gonna come, we're gonna come, he's gonna come, and I was like, okay, we get it. Like you said, like 100
exactly,
times.
Yep.
50 times too much.
We know it. Yeah.
It's like, how many times did Shorty say "What's up" throughout the whole movie? I'm like, we get it. Like, no, let Shorty. If they're gonna do a Scary Movie 7, cut out Shorty. Like, keep Ray, keep Cindy, keep Brenda. But also, we haven't even really spoken about Cindy yet, and she's supposed to be the big star of this movie. I enjoyed her when she was introduced, so we see that she's taken on the Laurie Strode, Halloween 2018 character. And there were some really funny parts where, like, at the start, it was fine when she was like, oh, yes, I was also in Scary Movie 3 and 4 in the house bunny. And then they kept going with that to the point where it just wasn't funny anymore. And Coop, you said at the start of this podcast that, like, all the self-referential ideas just ruined it, because it's like once or twice, fine. But then it was like in every single scene, it's like, we get it.
I mean, they literally had the motivation be like, oh, we were annoyed about Scary Movie 3 and 4, and like, we're killing you because you were in that. It's like, if there were, like, the early nod to it in the movie was enough, as you said. Like, it didn't need to be like the whole, like, they've got an axe to grind with Cindy and Brenda. And with Cindy and Brenda as well, it was like, there wasn't really enough of them in this movie. I really didn't think, like, and I don't think that they really provided, particularly Cindy, I don't think they provided her with enough to go with, because she's such a good actor, and she just plays that sort of like daft character so well, and there really wasn't enough of that in this movie for her to fucking shine the way that she's going to. So I thought that was kind of a bit of a disappointment. And BP, you mentioned that like Brenda's character was sort of a bit like not living up to that Brenda character. I mean, there was the Ma references, which were like funny in that, but there wasn't a lot of that as well. I mean, that kind of happened in Scary Movie 4 as well, where like all of a sudden like Brenda's new thing is like she's really horny. But like, it was kind of similar in this. I feel like they didn't really know sort of which gags and which jokes to give to Cindy and Brenda, because of course, Marlon Wayans just wanted to be making fun of Shorty throughout half the fucking movie. So
it was very disappointing with Cindy's arc, I'll admit, because there were the few scenes where she references the smile curse, and then there was no resolution to it. And in the trailers, some of the newer ones, there's a scene where they make fun of Smile too, where the dancers are going through the walls and everything, but it was a whole bunch of ghost faces with the smile. And she's like, I'm not clean. Who's cleaning that mirror or something? So I was waiting to see that in this movie, and there was none of that. There were other cut scenes from the trailer too, with a Squid Games reference, and there was supposed to be more scenes involving Brenda, Ray, and Shorty in that Sinners thing, where the newer cast like pretend to have vampire fangs to like scare them, but that was cut out as well. And I mean, this isn't new territory. I mean, even the posters for like Scary Movie 4 have King Kong, but there's no King Kong in Scary Movie 4. Same with like there's over an hour of deleted scenes from Scary Movie 2. So it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, maybe on a future Blu-ray release or you know, collector's edition or something, there's like Scary Movie 6.5, similar to Scary Movie 3.5.
Maybe
there's probably more out there, yeah. I was pretty lucky, like, because I did, like, particularly with this, like, I did everything I could to avoid any kind of, like, trailers or spoilers or anything like that. I saw a couple of posters. Basically, the only things that I had spoiled was, like, I knew sort of who of the cast was going to be back in it. I didn't know Doofy was going to be in it. But I knew that Sherry O'Terry was going to be in it. Obviously, Cindy, Brenda, Shorty, Ray. But beyond that, I didn't really know. And I knew a couple of things that they were going to be making fun of. I knew Megan was going to obviously be a thing. I knew there was going to be, you know, a reference to Terrifier and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like, anytime I saw something in my feed to do with scary movies, I was just like, nah, I'm going to wait till it comes out. I don't want any of these jokes spoiled. But it sounds like, and I don't mind it, particularly in a case like this, where there's things in the trailer that don't necessarily happen. Because if you've seen all the main jokes and like, we'll never get off my soapbox about this with trailers and the fact that like so many trailers will have the best parts of a movie in it to the point where you go and see it, you're just seeing the stuff in between. You've already seen the movie in a way. So with a parody movie, I think it's kind of good to do that. So then there's at least some jokes and surprises and references that you may not have been expecting to see. Like I had no idea they were going to be doing anything to do with the substance. I had no idea. I had just kind of assumed that this had gone into production after that, you know. Same with Longlegs. I didn't know that, you know, Shorthand was going to be in it or anything like that. So like a lot of those things came as a surprise to me, which was kind of good. So
I think that's a good thing with scary movies, that you sort of know there's always going to be more beyond, I guess, the trailer. It's like when we did Bloodlines, and remember the scene with the spinning door in the hotel. And it's not even like a deleted scene on like the Blu-rays and that. So it was just obviously, it's so
to throw
weird.
people off.
And it's like you put it in there and no one ever made a reference to it. That's bizarre. But I think with Scary Movie, you know there's going to be more beyond the trailer. And that's what I was hoping, that like they were kind of putting maybe like the mid-best jokes in there.
Exactly.
And so
there's just talking about trailers and how there's a difference between the film and everything. So usually the marketing team are separate from the production editing team, where often production use different things, like whatever footage was filmed that particular day, to try and cut together a trailer to get it out as soon as possible. But what I always think is confusing is the fact that the marketing teams and the production teams don't seem to talk to each other. Because it's like, shouldn't the production have final approval over what gets featured into a trailer? Or, you know, talk about why it was specifically cut. Like, I wish the Wayans had come out and said, like, oh, we had this big parody with Smile or whatever, but we cut it because we wanted to focus more on Sinners, or we wanted to focus more on Scream 5, for instance. But there's no real information. And just to take it back to Cindy and Brenda for a minute, I felt that, and I don't blame Anna Faris or Regina Hall for this. I do think this is a script writing issue and a directing issue. I felt that Cindy's character was way more dumber than any other previous entry in the series, but to the point where that was like her one-dimensional only personality was, haha, I'm Cindy, I'm dumb. And then Brenda, who, Coop, I think you mentioned that in Scary Movie 3 and 4, she was always wanting sex and everything. And then this one, she's like weirdly anti-sex with, especially towards especially towards her son's girlfriend, being like sex positive, the only thing I'm positive, And it's like, shouldn't Brenda be like homegirls with her? Like, if we're going by the previous entries. And I'm not saying these movies have to be very like have a big continuity focus, but it did annoy me slightly that Cindy was reduced to this one part of her personality. Same with Brenda. Brenda didn't really have a personality in this movie, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But also, I still think there were a lot of really funny sight gags. Like after Brenda accidentally kills the teenager, her and Cindy are then shown rolling the body into the grave, and it says like random dead white teen extra or something. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. That was funny. And even at the hospital where it's like treating Ghostface victims since 2000, I was like, I'm not gonna burst out laughing, but it was a funny sight gag to also show us like, hey, the characters are in the hospital now, So, BP, did you want to?
I was just gonna say when Cindy was putting Brenda in the body bag and trying to zip her up, and she's like, "I ain't dead yet."
And it turned out she was faking it.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
No, like that's the thing. Like the funniest parts were ones that were not prioritized, and everything else got dragged on so much. The streaming part where it's Kai Cenat, who I'm over 20, so I don't know who the fuck Kai Cenat is, but he's a big streamer and he does all these videos and everything. And I get it that they brought him in to like appeal to Gen Z and everything, or like millennials, whatever. But it just went on a bit too long. And then it actually got funny when they killed him, not because he died, but because of the fact that this is bringing back Ghostface into it, who just unexpectedly kills someone on stream. And then we have the rare funny moment from Shorty where he's like, my stream's about to go big or whatever. Because like that's how a lot of these streamers act. They do all these extreme things for attention. So I like that it was making fun of that, and that Kai Cenat was willing to be part of the joke, but it just needed to be trimmed down a lot. And then my biggest pain point of this movie is actually the newer cast. They were so annoying. I'm sorry, they really were. Cindy's daughter was fucking irritating. Same with Tuesday. And the scenes just weren't funny. Like when Tuesday was in the hospital bed and then Cindy's daughter, Sarah, was like moving the bed up and down or whatever. And it was just, there was something about the dialogue that was just like, oh, for fuck's sakes, can we move on already? Like, I don't care about this cast. Like, BP, what did you think of the new cast?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty forgettable in a lot of ways. I suspected, so when I saw it with my mate, I said to him after the movies, were they audio living the daughter's voice with Cindy's?
Yeah.
Or her voice is eerily similar. I picked that up in quite a few scenes, and I was... Yeah, okay, good. Okay, we got that. I think she was actually. I think the boyfriend was pretty like on par with the guy from Scary Movie 5. I'm sorry, I'm from Scream 5. So I think he did. I think he did a pretty good role. In that. Tuesday, Wednesday, I couldn't care less, and then the Cindy's daughter. Yeah. The dude in the football suit, the one that's in the bed. Like he was all right. I think some of his scenes were actually pretty funny. And yeah, the streamer, I didn't know who it was. Didn't really care for them, but yeah, I think I was sort of just more hoping to have more dialogue scenes with particularly Cindy and Brenda, because as we've all picked up, there's been a lack of it, and it felt like when we sort of talk about it, I really feel like it's kind of the main story centers around Cindy's daughter and the boyfriend in a lot of the scenes. Like that's where the movie revolves around, which is a bit sad because you're there for Cindy and Brenda and you're hoping this story centers around them more. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. The guy up, why can't I point properly? This one with the guitar, he was my favorite out of all of the new cast because of just how willing he was willing to go to be that extra level of stupid and funny. Like he gets bashed a lot throughout this movie. He's like, "What? That wasn't me. Ghostface was down there or whatever." And it's so on brand, especially with how Jack Quaid played
What was his name? Richie
Mhm.
Kirsch in
Yeah,
Scream
Richie.
5.
Richie.
I could have done without the other characters that were supposed to parody Scream 5 because I'm still surprised that was the main parody of this movie. But anyway, because you think about it, like we've already done Ghostface with Scary Movie, then we had Scary Movie 2 with a whole bunch of random parodies like The Haunting and all that, Scary Movie 3 with The Ring, Signs, 8 Mile and all that, and then this one it's like, oh, you mean the one that took in the least amount of money at the box office, like compared to Scream 6 and 7? Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, Coop, what did you think about this new cast?
Look, I didn't really mind them. Tuesday was kind of ampy on the joke of like, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I was kind of annoyed that they had to they didn't have to, but they said the line towards the end that Wednesday, oh, it's Tuesday, it has to be Tuesday for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Like, we're not that silly. We get that. I thought.
I think I laughed at that though in the cinema.
The Brenda's daughter, Sydney Park. I thought she was really good. Were you saying before that it was actually like Cindy's voice as Sarah's voice?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because I was literally wondering. I was like, has Anna Faris got like an adult daughter? Because this is like ridiculous casting. So that makes way more sense then. Like, because I was like, huh, and then I actually looked up and was like, oh no, she's got a son. Like, I didn't realize that. I just thought she was doing like a really good Anna Faris impression. So now that performance is a little less impressive to me. But yeah, some of the character that was being Jack Wade Ritchie, that was really, really good. And I mentioned before the storyline of like, it's always the love interest and he's always acting suspicious and doing dumb shit was a good ongoing joke throughout it. But I feel like there was for the most part, there was enough back and forth between the new cast and the old cast. And I understand why they did it, given the fact that Scream 5 is the whole legacy storyline and like the new cast versus the old cast. But like I said, I feel like they completely used that so that they could concentrate on nostalgia and throwback lines and on. So that probably pissed me off more than, some new characters in this that were kind of like, okay. Greg's son, I thought that character was pretty funny, to be honest. Like, I thought they did a good job in that role too. So yeah, I'm medium on the new cast. They didn't annoy me that much. So
yeah. Going back to Greg, I was surprised how little he was in this movie because Lachlan Monroe, did have a good amount of screen time in the first Scary Movie. And wait, didn't he die? Oh, they all died in all the movies. It doesn't.
They
really
all
matter.
died.
Yeah.
They all died.
I was just thinking about that then. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He got his throat slit. But I thought there was going to be more scenes of him, like especially with the rest of the cast together. But I guess not. And then we don't get. I thought for sure there was going to be a surprise cameo by Shannon Elizabeth, who plays Buffy in the first movie, but we didn't get anything like that. The fact that Cindy's daughter is supposed to be the son of her and Bobby. I was like, I get it because it's supposed to be the parody of Scream 5, where she was the son of Billy Loomis and some other random teenage girl. But I was kind of expecting her to be like the son of Cindy and Buddy from Scary Movie 2. But that didn't happen. And I guess Cindy and Buddy didn't actually have sex in that movie, so why not?
Pink quick A-cup.
Yeah. But I was also kind of hoping they'd bring back Cody from Scary Movie 3. And I know the Wayans brothers purposely did this movie to, not focus on Scary Movie 3 and 4, but I thought maybe they would have brought him back or, tried some other avenue. Maybe they bring back Charlie Sheen for another fucking time or whatever, because y'all know he was great in Scary Movie 5.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised they brought back Anthony Anderson, to be honest, considering he was, in 3 and 4, the ones that they hate so much. But But I guess that that was a whole nod to the fact so they could continue to shit on 3 and 4. And
I did like they brought Carmen Electra back as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
the cameo.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I thought that was a nice nod at the start. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
But it wasn't like a gratuitous, overstayed welcome like some of these other returning characters were. Like she was in the opening scene, for number 1, and it was a very quick pass the torch, moment with Tiana Taylor, which I thought worked very well for both of them.
Yeah.
And I wish they did that more with some of the characters, like Doofy, for instance, who didn't need to be in the movie for as long as he was. It could have been the very quick, cameo where we see him being approached by Cindy's kid at the trailer park, similar to Scream and all that. And then they could have done the hospital scene and that's it. But he just seemed to be in every single part. And I'm like, he was funny when there was less of him compared to...
exactly.
There's I was trying to make this equivalence the other day. Like, when they do all the specific lines and everything and all the callbacks to the first one, it reminds me a lot of how, given we talked about Pennywise a couple of months ago, It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2, they were trying to do callbacks to the 1990 version, but they just weren't good. And there were certain scenes like It Chapter 1 does their Beep Beep Richie, which was done in the 1990 version, but it wasn't good, scary, or clever. And then It Chapter 2, Pennywise references things that were in It Chapter 1. Like, what did you call them, Eddie? Gazebos? And it's like, yeah, that was funny in the first one, but it doesn't make sense here. It's the same thing with Scary Movie 6. Like, funny in the original, not that good here, because it's just shoved down our throat so much. Like, yes, we get it. Shorty loves weed. We get it. What's up? We get it. This. Like, less is more people. Like, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
BP, did you have any other least favorite parts of Scary Movie 6 that we haven't discussed yet?
Yeah, there's quite a few notes here I've noted. So I guess straight off the bat, Gail's character lacked a lot of potential. I even thought like that opening scene, I was waiting for her to spit the gum or something at the cameraman and be like, I've done this for 25 years, like fucking catch my gum already. Like something that was just, here, catch my gum. And then like they said Gail swallows and I laughed out loud because that's always funny. And then she's in like the substance scene and I think that's it. Like she's really like in 2 or 3 scenes, if that. And I was like, wow, like wasted potential. She's in the poster. And I didn't think her lines were that great. I love her. I just don't think she was really represented well in this movie. It's very unfortunate. As I said earlier, Cindy and Brenda, I put that their roles, well, their acting was undercooked and undervalued. Particularly, I'd say more, Cindy didn't feel like Cindy to me. She felt like an airhead, and I know she's kind of got that airhead vibe in like Scream 4 when she walks in the house and she's like, wow, like, picking up a cobweb photo frame and that sort of stuff. But in this one, it was just, I don't know, something's not right. And then Brenda would come in and out, and I'm a bit disappointed that Brenda didn't play more into the Ma character. There's glimmers of it. Like there's the shooting scene. There's, I think in that scene in my one, she sort of is a bit Ma, but I was waiting for like a just got a new number, or like
don't make me drink alone,
something like that. And there was just nothing really Ma. Like she's at the party handing around like drinks, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, just wasted opportunity given how like memes come from Ma because it's such a shit movie. I think with Shorty, the shit son, like it went on a lot. In a lot of scenes, like it's funny at the start, people were laughing, but by the end it's like shit son, like every 5 minutes I'm like, we get it. The 3 scenes I really disliked and they could have just cut is the K-pop scene. Didn't care, knew what it was, didn't think it added anything. The Michael scene I thought was really cringe. I like that Keenan guy, he's good in SNL. The Michael scene just felt very on the nose because the movie, you don't like Keenan?
Sorry?
Oh, I like Keenan.
No, I didn't mind it. That's why I'm laughing. So,
like the Michael scene just felt very like, fuck, we got to add it in. And they did reshoots only a couple of months ago because obviously Michael was coming out. So I think they just wanted to jump on that. So they could have cut that. And then the Terrifier scene I thought was really bad. I think they were talking about like blowing up the kids originally and then scrap that. I'm like, that's what they should have done. Every line's got to be crossed, is what they said in this movie, and they didn't cross many. And like Cindy's acting in that was just really cringe because he's like, yeah, cool, like, okay. What else did I have? Yeah, and then just a lot of the jokes were either they fell flat, they didn't work, or they were just dated. And it'd be like where we'd just be like, huh, that's funny. I don't know. Just yeah, across the board. And I think every character's had that issue. I'm not picking one person in particular. It just yeah, my thing I'm sort of getting from what we're speaking about, I do wonder if the Wayans brothers were trying to maybe incorporate this new viewership, i.e. younger people, by doing a lot more maybe references to the originals. So they kind of like understand. So for us, when we see the like throwbacks, we're like, we get it. But I do wonder they're trying to like maybe capture a new market, and it just hasn't worked well. Yeah, so it's disappointing. The other note I made was that it starts to suffer what Scary Movie 3 and 4 did, which we've touched, where it just like slapstick comedy, it just doesn't really work. The Final Destination scene, like when I saw that Ferris wheel fall over, like I didn't laugh. I just thought it was so dumb.
I did.
I just thought
I burst out laughing because that's like my humor. But I do agree, because there's other slapstick elements, like when she hits the guy with the metal bedpan. I'm like, yeah, we get it. Like,
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just around the acting was really underwhelming, particularly for Cindy and Brenda. And then yeah, I'd say probably like a good 75% of the jokes just didn't work in this movie, which is really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
And then yeah, those three scenes definitely, I think they were just very on the nose. Some of it felt like Family Guy. I think Coop, you said earlier. I love Family Guy, but over the years the quality has severely decreased.
Oh god, yeah.
Weirdly, this season at the moment, it's actually all right. If you do watch it, it's actually been funny. And there's a reference I'll send to you, Justin, because it's like Peter going, he's like, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And I have to send it to you because you can use it for this. But yeah, overall, that's my sort of the bad points. Nothing else really I could point out. Yeah.
Just to go back to one of your points, BP, about trying to appeal to the new generation, I fully understand why they didn't include a parody of Obsession, because that movie is a surprise breakout hit. I think we only had one teaser trailer that was released in January or February, and no one could have predicted that movie took off. But given all the hype around Backrooms and how that was announced like a year ago, and it was due to come out in 2026, the trailer was released I think 3 or 4 months ago. I'm very surprised they didn't do even just like a quick cutaway parody of Backrooms. And maybe this makes me sound racist, but I thought they were going to do a parody and call it Black Rooms, like just in line with like other like titles and stuff.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, because there was that scene where the Michael parody comes in, and it's Jermaine. Yeah, Jermaine.
Yeah.
But the way that was shot was so weird, because it shows Tuesday in hospital, and she turns on the TV, and clearly they shot that like ages ago. They were just going to put in whatever the flash of the moment thing was. So there's Michael, and she does the quote where she's like, I'm a bootleg that shit or whatever. Like, I'm surprised they didn't add another one where like she changes channels or something and there's Backrooms or something, or like that could have been like because like they did that with Scary Movie 5, how Evil Dead had only come out, the trailer was only out for like a week or something, and they still parodied Evil Dead in that movie. Or maybe it did come out. The trailer was released a few months prior. I can't remember. Scary Movie 5 is a fucking disaster, let's be real. But I just felt that they could have done something more like that. Yes, they did do the trailer where it's they parodied the Backrooms, and they're like, imagine a place so expansive and so twisted and everything. And then cuts a shorty saying, you talking about eating pussy? And it's like, yeah, that was funny, but then seeing it in the actual movie and it's not Backrooms related, it's like, I feel a little bit cheated. But
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the marketing team though.
Mm.
Coop, did you have any other least favorite parts?
I feel like I have covered a lot of it. Obviously, the streaming scene went on way too long. And it, like I mentioned, by that point, they'd self-referenced so many times, and then you had the "what's up" thing, and I'm just like, oh my god, can we stop? Can we stop doing this?
Yeah.
Ray's character as well, even though there was like a joke here and there that was good, we didn't really see much of him. And
Yeah.
I don't know, the presentation of his character was like kind of meh, and he's such an iconic character in the first and the second Scary movie. I just don't feel like Ray was really given enough screen time. I think maybe if they had had Shorty in this movie as much as they had had Ray in, and they'd like added more scenes with Ray, this would have been a lot better and way less grating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of unfortunate. As we've all mentioned, Cindy and Brenda's characters were kind of meh in this movie, which is again, they're usually what make these fucking movies. Like the best thing about scary movies are Cindy and Brenda. And it almost makes me wonder: was it just like, was this just like a Wayans thing of like, all right, no, we're the stars of the show, we've taken the movie back and like this, that, and the other. But like they did the first two movies, and obviously they had no issue with letting Cindy and Brenda's characters shine in those movies. Why not with this one?
Yeah.
Again, because they spent so much of the movie referencing their own shit.
Yeah.
They were kind of just like left to the wayside as far as the script and the gags go with those characters. So that was a real shame. But beyond that, I think throughout this recording, I think I've mentioned most things that really annoyed me about this movie. So I don't think there's really too much more that I can add to that, to be honest.
Yeah. No, that's fair. This movie does make me question whether there was actually the right decision to do Scary Movie 3 and 4 without them. As horrible as that sounds, because we know the history behind how the Wayans brothers got duped and how they unfairly got their franchise stolen from them, because they did create it. It wasn't just Marlon and Damon, it was also Keenan Ivory. There were the whole family basically involved, which I do think maybe they needed to bring on David Zucker, who had a part in Scary Movie 3 and 4, not to like add new scenes, but maybe just to like tighten some things up and polish up some jokes better, or bring in some fresh new talent, so that maybe there was that appeal to Gen Z without it coming across as cringy and like Facebook mum meme group where it's like fucking Minions humor. Like, just such a shame. So one thing before we do get into ratings, there's one other character we haven't spoken about yet, which is, I can't remember her name, but she's played by Kim Wayans. She's like the hospital nurse / cleaner. I actually thought she was pretty funny, because especially the part where like Doofy gets killed by Ghostface, and then she's like, "Oh hell no, I'm not cleaning that up. I'm on break." I love that continuity, how she's always on break, and she's like, I've been saving people all day. You can go save yourself. Like, it was so funny. Like, just, and like she's this very flamboyant character, but it was still like understated humor, which I loved. So I would love to see her return in a potential Scary Movie 7. There's news coming out that the Wayans are talking about doing another one where it'll actually parody Backrooms and Obsession. So I have no idea how they're going to do that. So we'll soon see what happens. But yeah, we'll get into ratings. So I've already made my ratings known on Letterboxd, etc. I did give it 3 stars, so 6 out of 10. I do recognize that there's a lot of humor in this that just doesn't work. It does feel like the first draft of a script, but I still laughed. I still had a good time. I do look at this through rose-colored glasses, and I'll happily admit that. But still, I just wish there was funnier moments and just less focus on just trying to be relevant and trying to be fucking streamer 2K26 Gen Z garbage. Sorry, I can't stand it. BP, what about yourself?
Yeah, 6 out of 10, I think, is more than fair. I think there's enough nostalgia and enough interest for people that have watched it since the start to come back. I think there'll be something you'll laugh at with either the new cast or the old cast. I really do like, we didn't really say it, but they did cover a wide plethora of horror movies in the last 20 years, which I'm very happy with. I'm happy to even see like Jigsaw, we saw Jason, we saw Michael, we saw Chucky, even on the subway. So like they covered everything, which I'm really glad that they did. They didn't really leave anything, me wanting, like desiring more from a certain movie. Maybe like Insidious wasn't really there, or like The Conjuring, but then I say that Noose on the Tree was sort of Conjuring poster, so I say that's Conjuring. But yeah, look, a lot of the jokes do fall flat. The new cast is sort of questionable. Yeah, I think just probably go in neutral with this. I think you'll still have like a good time somewhat and laugh at a joke here and there. It's definitely better than number 5. As to whether it's better than number 4, I don't know, which is a bit of a concern. So I'm hoping if a sequel does get greenlit, it might just sort of start the spirit of these parody movies to come back out again, because they were great. And we've seen other derivatives of like, Vampire Suck, A Haunted Mansion, which are like relatively good spoof movies at the time, sort of come back. So I sort of hope this might be a resurgence of this, and it's good just to have this is a good movie just to sit back and not really worry about things and just have a good laugh. Enjoy your time, and yeah, you'll be surprised with some cameos and some iconic throwbacks. So 6 out of 10 I think is more than generous for this 25-year wait essentially, or what do we say, 20-year wait for a new scary movie. Oh sorry, I lie. Whatever it's been, 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your point too, BP, about starting this new wave of parody movies, there's also this one that's coming out from RuPaul called Stop That Train, which looks absolutely fucking awful, but I can't wait to see it because I love Drag Race, I love RuPaul, I love drag queen. So even if it's like absolute bottom tier, level humor, I'm still gonna watch it. But I would love to see like a Not Another Teen Movie 2, because I think Not Another Teen Movie is like the funniest parody movie of all time. We also had the Naked Gun reboot that came out with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
I thought that was good, but not really that funny.
Yeah.
But like I do hope it starts that new wave. Like we'll probably get Disaster Movie 2 or like Marvel movie or
Spartan.
We need superhero movie 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like when superhero movie came out, it was only just starting to kick off what the last almost 20 years of our lives have been of rehash fucking superhero movies, and like the whole market being saturated. I think more than anything, they need to make superhero movie 2.
Yeah.
And superhero movie was like, as silly as it was, like it's some of the dialogue in that has still got one of my favorite lines of like the titanium blades. I'm not wearing any diamonds. It's still one of the best lines in a parody movie. Fucking phenomenal. Stop That Train. I've also been doing what I do and avoiding trailers. I've just been seeing the promos on like episodes of like Drag Race and shit. But I'm hoping it's sort of in the vein of like, I'm guessing you guys have seen Airplane or Flying High or whatever it's, which is, I'm hoping it's that kind of approach of just like, visual gags, literal, like that kind of wordplay kind of vibe to it. Basically, Jerry Zucker, Dave Zucker type shit. But we'll see what happens. But I really do hope that this is a kicking off point for more parody movies.
Touching on Coop's thing, it looks like, and by the time this comes out, it'll probably be dated what I say, but I think it's going to make back its money and then some in this opening weekend, because this only cost $30 million. Looking on the 6 movies, this is the third. It's only what was it? Scary Movie 1 cost 19 mil, and then Scary Movie 5 was 20 mil. The rest were 40 and 45. So yeah, I think it's gonna make back that money and some, and it might even be the best in the franchise. And I think if that's not a thing for the Wayne brothers to do another one, I think it might just tinker Hollywood, maybe to be like, look, parody movies I think are back in, and people just want to have a good time sometimes. And I think it's time for, like you said, superhero, just take a jab at Marvel and just that mess that has become, and take a jab at Disney while you're at it, because I hate Disney.
Yep, amen to that, sister.
You know what I would actually love? a full parody movie or even a parody TV series of Euphoria, because that is so ripe for material to be parodied. It is so fucking stupid and over the top. But
What about Riverdale?
that is a parody. I already sent you that clip where Camilla
I
Mendes
asked
has to rank the seasons and like what was the worst part.
What
She's
about
like,
the fifth one?
it's so bad. But Coop, it kills me every time in this year's episodes of Drag Race episodes where RuPaul will be like, congratulations, you've won a trip for two to Spain. And also 2 tickets to see Stop That Train
Stop
in
That
Cinema
Train.
Studio. It's so clearly dubbed in at the last second.
Yep.
Also, sorry, Coop, we will get to your rating. BP, before I forget, you mentioned a joke we haven't spoken about, which is around the noose when Ghostface is killing the who is he related to? Brenda's son. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, come on, man, 12 years a slave. And then he does the noose, and he's like, really? And he's like,
Yes.
no, it's not racist. Like, it's not a racial thing, I promise. I didn't even see that movie. Like, it's that type of, like, borderline offensive humor, which is actually funny because it's not actually offensive to, like, black people. But it's, like, taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Where I wanted more of that type of, like, borderline offensive humor. But anyway, Coop, what is your rating for Scary Movie 6?
I'm going to give it 5.5 Shaq cameos out of 10. And 5.5 is probably still taller than Kevin Hart. Yeah, like I said, like there were jokes in this that I did really enjoy and references that I thought, were really clever and stuff, but I thought it was overall kind of jumbled and a little bit all over the place. The way too reliant on nostalgia and the self-references and stuff were doing my head in. Way too much Shorty on screen. Yeah, they could have spent more time on the script ironing out the details of the jokes and who's going to present those jokes as well. Like we mentioned, Cindy and Brenda were kind of just like left to the wayside in this movie, and that is such a fucking shame. But yeah, I'm open to there being, a Scary Movie 7 if they want to kick off from here. I'm like, if there's another Scary Movie, I'm going to go and see it, even if the reception and ratings and reviews are terrible. I'm going to at least go and give it a go. As I mentioned, I wasn't expecting that much anyway. So I'm still happy that I kind of like walked out, with a smile on my face and got a few chuckles in here and there. And yeah, hopefully this is a revival to the parody spoof genre, because there just hasn't really been a lot of that over the last like 15 or so years. I think that's really missing. As we've mentioned, the last 15 years of cinema, nearly 20 years of cinema has just been Marvel movies and remakes that didn't need to happen. So like, here's your opportunity right now to make fun of that and, have a little fun. As BP said, sometimes people just want to go and sit down and have a laugh and just have a good time. So, and that's exactly what these kind of movies are for. And yeah, had a good time with it, but I just obviously comparing it to what we've seen in the past, apart from Scary Movie 5, it just isn't up to that level, unfortunately. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's a very fair score from all of us. I am interested to see how much money this does take into the box office. The last thing I read this morning was that the opening weekend for Scary Movie 6 is on track with Scream 7. And Scream 7 ended up being the highest grossing movie in the franchise. In all honesty, I don't know how. And I don't know if you read this interview with Melissa Barrera, who started Scream 5 and 6. She actually said that she has a conspiracy theory that Paramount are lying about the box office figures for Scream 7. And when I first read the interview, I'm like, okay, Melissa's just been a bit, in her feelings, and rightfully so. She got unfairly fired. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I don't actually know anyone else that went and watched Scream 7. Like, we watched it because we do the podcast, but a lot of people I know, like Pablo, for instance, Pablo didn't watch it at the cinema. A lot of people I know didn't bother seeing it. They waited till it came out on digital. And so I'm like,
me,
how
me,
did they
me
actually
and BP
make?
didn't pay for it, so
No,
we didn't.
no, we had
Yeah.
Walking Heads, remember?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Come
just
on.
insane that it ended up making more than Scream 5 and 6 when I know a lot more people that went and watched Scream
Yeah.
5. So
It doesn't make sense either, because when you think like if it's purely for Nev Campbell, then why didn't the Scream 5 numbers represent, like why wasn't it a high figure? Because Scream 5 had been so long since like 4 had been out. Then 6 obviously had come out. So then because of the return of Nev Campbell, it netted another whatever 50, 75, 100 mil on top of what's, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense, because I'm like, there's nothing driving Scream 7 anyway. Like I thought the advertising was whatever. Yeah, like there was no one coming back except Nev Campbell, but I'm like, I guess she gets numbers, but really the best of the franchise, yeah.
even Scream 4, which was released in 2011, that had, I think, the lowest box office out of every single Scream film. And yet
that's crazy.
Yeah, that was marketed as like, yeah, we've got Emma Roberts, but I specifically remember posters, trailers focusing on Neve Campbell, Courtney Loves Cox, and David Arquette. So, like, I'm surprised that didn't make huge money. But if I don't know, maybe there's like a parallel universe where there's like a huge amount of people being like, we're gonna go watch Scream 7 because we're excited. Whereas I feel like all of us were like, all right, let's go see Scream 7 because we have to, not because we actually want to.
And I think people are just like, yeah, sorry, go keep.
I was just gonna say, maybe it was just because of like my age, like what age I am. When I heard Scream 4 was coming out, like I was fucking chomping at the bit to go and see that, because I was like, I can finally go and see a Scream movie at the cinema.
Yeah.
Because like Scream 3 came out when I was 7. So I obviously hadn't seen a Scream movie. So like for me, the most like exciting Scream release for me was Scream 4. I didn't see Scream 5 at the cinema. I think I rented it just before we did our podcast, and then I went and saw Scream 6, and then hated that. And obviously everything was Scream 7. Like you, BP, I'm not paid for that shit. So yeah.
And I still laugh at that meme, that poster, like Scream 16, and it's like they still got it, and I'm like, it's accurate, because it's probably going to get to that point where they're going to look like that on it. I'm like, Scream 16, okay.
I still think of that picture of Courtney Cox where it's the two hair ponytails that you'll send to me every now and then. It's like clearly Photoshop.
Yeah, and it's like you won't. It's like this actress, you don't want to know what she looks like now. I think that's what it was like on one of those little pop-up ads that it came.
The clickbaity ones.
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe what she looks like now or something. Yeah.
I do have one final question for you both, which is, what do you wish what I guess horror movie parodies did you want to see in Scary Movie 6 that weren't there? Because for me, I've always been wanting a Final Destination parody, and we got a little bit of it in the opening scene where it's the theme park, but I wanted something more. Like I wanted Cindy or Brenda to have the visions. Like I could easily see Brenda being like, you know, that's so Raven or whatever, and being like, oh, I had a vision, but I don't know what it means. So like she misinterprets it on like accident, and so she causes the accidents to happen or whatever. Like that they could have still done that and have her still dress as Ma, but you know, there wasn't really anything going for it. Likewise, you know, obviously The Conjuring is the biggest horror movie franchise in the world. Maybe the house was haunted by one of the Conjuring demons or something, but it is what it is. BP, I'll start with you.
I don't know, because I mean, I watched it and I wasn't really like thinking, I wish I saw this and that. And I think the subway scene sold it for me, because I saw characters there and it was just nice to see other characters in it. But I mean, if anything, maybe something with like Leatherface or something. I mean, we haven't really had that. Or like, it's a bit of a weird one, but like Speak No Evil, maybe something with the tongue. Element, or, you know, there wasn't really, was there a Midsummer reference in this? And if there was, it was very quick if I missed it.
I thought the scene with Ray when he first enters the church, I thought it was setting up to be a Midsummer parody.
That's
then
what
I
I
realized,
thought.
oh, it's Sinners. Yeah.
I honestly couldn't really think of anything off the bat that I'm missing, that, you know, like something I've seen and I go, I wish I did, like, I don't know, maybe something like The Descent or something that I like. Or, But
Yeah.
these are little movies that like no one really like
Mhm.
people know of, but like a wider audience would be like they'd be like the third acting, like what are they doing? But that could play in, I think, because then people would be like, Eden Lake, the fuck's that? Who's Lake? Like, like I don't know, but yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with what's there. But yeah, I think one of those like niche little ones like Quarantine or something, one of my sort of favorite, or like Rest Stop maybe.
Rest Stop 2.
I'd say Wolf Creek or something, but then Australian films wouldn't really make it international. I think people understand it.
Yeah. They do like a parody of Lake Mungo where it's covered phone footage. Coop, what about yourself?
Oh, Lair of the White Worm and Body Melt.
Yes.
No. Everyone would be like, what are these? What are these movies?
Jack Frost would be good. Yeah.
Jack Frost would be good. Don't start. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as BP of like there wasn't like, oh, I wish they did this, I wish they referenced that, because they crammed a hell of a lot in there. I mean, we haven't mentioned it, but Weapons was in there too. There was a Weapons reference.
Oh yeah.
Talk to Me could be cool. I mean, yes, it's it's an Australian movie, but it did do really well internationally. So that could have been a good one. Hereditary. I would love them to take the piss out of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
So there's options for them. And I guess that's the kind of a cool thing about if they're doing another one. I mean, it's been a good year for horror. We got Backrooms, Obsession, and more movies on the way as well. So there's always going to be a lot of material for them to play with. But I think in this movie they used enough material, like movies as references. Could they have done it better? That's another story. But as far as the amount of movies and the different things that they did parody, I think they fit enough in there for horror fans to be happy with the amount of references and what they were trying to achieve with that. So, hopefully in future there's more ones as well, and maybe some more niche ones to keep BP and I happy. But also,
Actually, to your point about Talk to Me, I was just thinking it in my head then in the past 2 minutes. It's surprising they didn't include a parody of Talk to Me, specifically with Shorty, because of how they've written Shorty to be this 40-year-old man who's trying desperately to be a teenager, and he's supposed to be still in high school or whatever. But I'm surprised that they didn't do a scene at the party at the end where they bring out the hand and they bring out like Cindy takes a turn, Brenda takes a turn, and they see all the dead characters from Scary Movie 1 to 4 in a very fast blink and you'll miss it cameo. And they could have even their hatred of Scary Movie 3 and 4, they still could have referenced it where maybe it's a dead character from Scary Movie 3 or 4 or something. They're like, who was that? And they're like, oh, it's not important. Still shitting on Scary Movie 3 and 4 while referencing that. Hollywood call me. I need a job, so hire me to be your parody writer. Come on. But it is. I think this has the most parodies out of all the Scary Movie films. Maybe Scary Movie 2 has more because they did so many where it was like The Exorcist and The Haunting and What Lies Beneath and this and that and everything in between. But yeah, I still would love to see a Scary Movie 7. I just hope maybe this is a practice round and that for Scary Movie 7 they tighten up a few concepts, they retire some of the characters like Shorty for instance, and focus on what actually makes Ray funnier, what actually makes Brenda so iconic, and same with Cindy. And I would love to see them bring back Sherry O'Terry as well, because she does become white chicks, but they could easily just retcon that. It's not as if any of the characters who have died in the previous movies are permanently dead anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, Brenda doesn't die in this movie.
No.
Yeah, she dies in every other one except for number 4. But in a deleted scene, she does die. Same with Scary Movie 2. So, crazy. Also, just spitballing here, that scene where it's on the subway train and it's Mindy or D, whatever she's supposed to be, and she gets killed and they make some lazy reference like the manosphere or something. It's supposed to be like, I'm over 40. How am I supposed to keep up with this shit? I honestly think the way they should have done that scene is Mindy would have been like stabbed somewhere or something, and then like something falls out where it's like people are attacking her because she's so woke, but it's like shown on screen rather than just like implied or some other character says something. That would have been the way to do like that type of offensive jokes. So like people who are like, yeah, fuck woke and I'm anti-woke. I think this is funny. But I don't think anyone's laughing at it. Like even the most anti-woke people are probably like, what did that person say? Did they say something about manosphere? Like it was just so lazy put together. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. BB and Coop, just want to say thank you both very much for joining me today to discuss Scary Movie 6.
Thanks for having us. It was a blast getting back to the movies, watching Scary Movie, and talking about it. I really did enjoy it, though.
Yeah, it's good to have another scary movie to discuss and dive into, even if it wasn't quite what we would have been hoping it would be. It was still good to jump back in and do another parody movie.
Yeah. Viewers, now we've also done deep dives of Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes, even Scary Movie 5. So check that out in our Scary Movie playlist. I'll also link it in the description. Also, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on Scary Movie 6 are. If you hated it, if you loved it, if you're in the middle like we are, let us know, but also keep the comments respectful. I will be deleting every harsh comment that I find, so it is what it is. Like, follow, subscribe, etc. Or don't, it's your choice. And if you hated this episode...
You suck!